Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. You know what this is. This is Black Friday. This is Black Friday. And this is the day. This is the day. Bitch, you got your headphones on? No, he ain't got headphones on. Lord, my Jesus. See what I'm saying to you? Lord, my Jesus. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, this is Black Friday. This is the day where, if there's a business, you have a business, an idea, an event, or anything that's going on, all you have to do is give us a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. And we love to talk about it with you, talk about your business, talk about your event, talk about whatever. And the best part about it, we're going to do it for half. We're going to do it for half and a half. Half and a half. That's all we're gonna charge you. Half and a half. That's 0 plus 0. We're gonna, if you know, we're gonna charge you $100 times 0. That's what we're gonna charge you. $100 times 0. All y'all math heads out there. What, Tawanda? Good morning. Help them out a little bit, Tawanda. Help them out. Tawanda, good morning. How you doing?
I am great. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well. Now, I say we're gonna charge them $100 times 0. How much we charge them, Tawanda?
$100 times 0.
Yep.
It's free.
Absolutely.
It's all the way free.
It's all the way live.
All right now.
It's all the way live. Bishop, good morning. Got Bishop in the studio with us this morning. Bishop, what's going on?
Ain't too much going on, man. Just glad to be here.
Talking to the microphone, man. You gonna talk all over to the side? We got a microphone.
Man.
What you got a microphone for?
So I can
yeah, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. Man, you know what?
He gonna come all the way over here and say, man, it's all about you, man. Give me a high five. What the what? Man, you got me.
Bishop, do you got your holy oil?
Oh my goodness. No, but I got some water I can concentrate right quick and throw on him. Tell you the truth.
That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work.
I'm like, Lord, how you, Kurt, what we gonna do about your cousin, man? Kurt, come on, Curtis McNeil from Charm City, up there, all the way up there to Beatmore. Kurt, what we gonna do about your brother, man?
Yes, man, I'm just glad the brother's there. I was just talking about him yesterday, man. Bishop, what's up, baby?
Hey, what's up?
What's good, man?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can you do me a solid, Bishop?
Here we go. Watch this, y'all.
Had Baby Boy reach out to me, man. Lil Kurt got a joint that he want to remix. He got a joint called Dropping Jewels. And it's a real spiritual piece, but he rapped the hook, but he wanted a singer to sing the hook, and he wanted a female, but it fell through.
Right.
So I talked to him, and I told him, I said, well, hey, I said, man, transition that thing. I said, you know what? It's always like that. Let a dude do it. So, hey, have Baby Boy reach out to me, man. Let's see if we can put them two together so they can do this remix.
Now, most definitely will do it, brother. I sure will.
See, and that's how business work right there.
I appreciate you, man.
Oh, no problem, bro. No problem.
That is how business work right there. You see how the things just came together? That's what we do here at Black Friday. See, look, that wasn't scripted. We didn't script it. We didn't plan that. No. It just happened. It happened because that's how it happened.
But you know what? I got to go back to Tawanda. This water, if you remember on the Exodus, they the priest had the water. He just throwing the water on the girl and said, "The blood of Christ compels you."
Don't follow that mess up, Tawanda.
Right. He different though. He take a whole different kind of water. This regular water ain't gonna do. It ain't gonna.
Tawanda, how you gonna fall into this mess? You my sister, man. Come on now. You supposed to have my back. How you gonna come in here and let them corrupt you like that?
Did you send the information to Kirk that I sent you?
What information?
Right.
What information?
No, he did.
Huh?
What information?
Huh?
What information? Wait a minute now. Hold on. Now today Friday, then we done had a real good week, and all of a sudden here y'all come with this mess.
I mean, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Have you sent it? Yes.
Stop. Why you make that boy look like JoJo Dancer? JoJo, you want your butt whipped? No.
Y'all see what I got to put up with, right? As long as y'all see what I got to put up with.
They be thinking thinking it been me? I sent you information like last week. This ain't Kirk.
Hold on.
Can't find Kirk because we're not friends.
No, I'm gonna tell you what it is. Your heart was in the right place. Your intentions was good, but you got to hit the send button because I didn't get it. You got to hit the send button now. You didn't hit the send button.
Okay, you know I keep receipts. Don't. I keep receipts. You know I got receipts. I'm not the person you want to go there with this one. Just go ahead and admit that you ain't doing it.
It'll probably be better.
Show me the
it comes from you anyway, because it'll go right into my inbox as opposed to even if you did send it. If you sent it, it would have went straight into my inbox. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to her sending it to me and it'll go into my junk box, and I might not get it. So
exactly.
Yeah, Ryan, please get that over to me, please.
Well, send it to me one more time. You know, I might have dropped the ball, and I'm man enough to admit I might have dropped the ball. Huh?
It's actually so late. I got some more content for you. See, he a week behind right now. You see what I'm saying? He a week behind. No, it was the we got like it's in your Facebook inbox. How's it behind? But I got a video. It's the missing kids flyers. Okay, I think it's like 60 something.
Okay.
I didn't set like 60 flyers. You ain't even got one. See what I'm saying? You gotta get it.
Yeah, I ain't got one.
But you know, I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's an easy solution to this.
We got a video, so we got both of them.
What you say? There's an easy solution to this. You know, there's a real easy solution. All you have to do is send each other a friend request.
To send me a friend request.
There you go. And y'all ain't gotta worry about me dropping the ball, huh?
Because guess what?
My grandma say chicken butt.
You just dropped the ball.
Go ahead, bitch.
In the fourth quarter, with 2 minutes left.
Speaking about the ball now, the NBA come back on tonight. Is it over tonight? Kurt, is it over tonight? Is it a wrap?
Nah, I will never count. I can't count the Lakers out, man.
No, the Lakers up.
Trying to count out.
The Lakers up 3-1.
Yeah, it's over. If they up 3-1, it's over. It's over. It's over. Tonight is game 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
So LeBron got another one.
Yep. Hey, Tawanda, is it TAWONDA?
No, it's not. It's TAWANDA. And then my last name Graves.
McCleckowicz.
Stop. Look.
Yo, you stupid.
It's Graves. GRAVES.
Bishop.
I'm about to slap Raheem to the phone this morning. I'm about to slap him to the phone.
She's gonna get you, brother.
Exactly. Hey. Sometimes to wake him up, you gotta shake him up. I shook up. But let's take it for a minute, bitch. I gotta open up the line.
Go ahead.
Take it for a minute.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, y'all on the road this morning. I'm so glad to be here with Raheem. Just to tell you the God on the truth, but he is a character among characters. He most definitely is my brother from another mother. But Tawana, let's go back about this water now, because once I consecrate it, it then becomes holy water. What you say?
Okay. Well, just throw the whole bottle on them. Don't even sprinkle. Just throw the whole bottle.
That's my plan.
Matter of fact, don't even open the bottle. Just throw inside the bottle.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
Let's throw the whole ball in.
Hey, I got
Just throw the whole bottle.
I want to do this here because this is Black Friday, and a lot of time people call us. We're gonna ask Steelers. That's just what we're gonna do. But a lot of time people call us, come in on Friday because they want to hear some about business. And Tawana, I want to ask you this question. You said something earlier. You said it without saying it, and gave me another direction to go in. You say I got the receipt. Don't challenge me on that because I'm the worst one that you want to deal with in regards to the receipts. And I listen to certain things and I run with it. How important is it for a business, for tax season and stuff like that? Let's talk about tax purposes, that they hold on to their receipts when they do things so that they can get more of a benefit or a tax break or even more money. How important is that to Wanda?
Oh, it ain't even about tax season. It's about everyday season. It's about everyday season because taxes you do at the end of the year, but you do your business month to month, and you better make sure that you're right, not only for legal purposes, but just for your business itself. Because, like I said, a lot of times, starting up specifically for us, we don't have any startup loans. We have no startup capital. We have none of that stuff. So a lot of times, whatever profit that you're bringing in, specifically the first year, is probably going to go back within your business. So you better keep receipts. You better keep everything all together. I mean, it's mandatory. And that's what a lot of people don't do. And they wonder why. They wonder why they're missing money. They wonder why nothing is happening. It's because they're not keeping a track of what's going on.
Okay. Now, what would you say to the people? And I'm gonna go to Kurt and Bishop about this as well. But what do you say to the people that say, "Well, look, I could just guesstimate what it is. They give you X amount of allowances and stuff like that. I could just go with the allowances and use that as my tax numbers to put me where I need to be." What do you say to that, Tawanda?
I would say nothing to that because I don't got time for them people no more. I've mentally exhausted myself from foolish people. And we just not there. I'm not there. I don't know where y'all at, but this morning you can see I'm not there. I'm not there because we're looking for people that have it together. You don't gotta be 100% all the way together, but you have to be 100% legit. And I mean, you don't even have to have things set up like as far as they need to be set up, but you need to be working towards that. You need to be attempting to do things the right way because guess what? We are the ones that's getting caught. If you look at the loans and stuff that was given out during COVID season, who are getting caught for the fraud? It's going to be us. So just make sure stuff is. It might take an extra few months to get things together. It may not. Just get it together.
Kurt, what do you say to that, Kurt? You're in business, man, and you throwing away all your receipts. You're not holding on to your receipts like you're supposed to. And now it's tax time or the end of the month when you got to tally everything up and make sure everything is lined up as it's supposed to. But you don't have your receipts, Kurt. I think I paid $300 for gas. I think I paid cleaning bills. I think I paid for my. You sitting there trying to guess, Kurt? Is that a good business practice?
No, it's not. And I learned the hard way. You know what I mean? It's not. And I thank God every day for people like you and T and Bishop because I started businesses before I went to college. So I started businesses because I had good ideas, but I really did not know how to run a business. I had no idea how to run a business. So I started businesses without knowing how to run them. And it kicked me in the hind parts. Now I know how to run them. My businesses. My business involvement is slowly but surely changing. Like I got a project right now that I know I'm gonna have to really buckle down and really be on top of things in terms of my taxes and what I spend and how I spend it because for one, every single time I've started a business, I bootstrap that business.
Yeah, a lot of time. Yeah,
this will be the first. Yeah, this will be the first time that that I will be doing fundraising and all, you know, in many different aspects of gaining capital. So I know now that I definitely got to keep my books straight, because I know that the state is going to be coming in to monitor our books on a regular basis. That's one. Two, my other business, I got a major project that I'm ready to take on, and I know that the project is going to create a buzz.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely got to be on top of my stuff as far as my taxes and all of that, and filings and all of that, because of the buzz. See, sometimes they won't mess with you, but let your business all of a sudden start doing well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And your business is creating a buzz.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta understand the element of, sometimes, you know, you start a business and it's real, it's making money, it's profitable, or it's possessing a certain je ne sais quoi to the public.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who either want to shut you down or want to buy you out. And when you don't have your books straight, it's easy for them to either shut you down or force you in the cell.
Mm-hmm.
So force you to sell. So I'm thanks to y'all, I'm really starting to buckle down with that. I got a meeting this weekend with my partners, and we're gonna sit down and really talk about, you know, buckling down and who's gonna be doing what. These are the things that need to be taken care of. So it's missions essential, brother.
Mm-hmm.
It is missions essential. Take care of your books, America.
Exactly.
Take care of your books.
Absolutely. Bishop, what do you say to that?
Well, when you brought that,
and pay more than $750 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. When you brought the topic up about being able to maintain your receipts, it's so vital to the success of your business, the growth thereof. And I think Kirk just hit the nail on the head when he began to talk about how IRS would come in. And even if you don't have the physical receipt, you take a picture of it, put it into your database. That way it'd be able to validate instead of you having all those papers around. That way you can keep up with what's going on. And when I owned my business, I was very studious as it relates to maintaining receipts, because you never know when you're going to be audited.
Exactly.
So it's important to keep your receipts, keep up with it, and make sure that if you're having an in-home business, you know you can take and write off part of that as your business, but yet you maintain what you're paying, so that you don't get bit in the tail end of the situation dealing with IRS.
And they will come and get you now.
Oh, yes, they
will come and get you, Tawanda. What do you say to that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not even business. Y'all know, if y'all follow me, I keep receipts on everything. Okay, I'll drop a receipt in a minute. Cause why? Cause people be lying. People conveniently forget what they didn't said, or they mix up words and they've been lying. They just lie for no reason. So you gotta keep a receipt. That's why I always say I don't be worried about nothing when these people be, you know, saying all this and saying all that. I'll drop a receipt in a minute. Yeah. Because I keep them. You have to keep them. You have to keep everything. Because the higher that you elevate, is the more people that want to take you down. You got to understand that by any means necessary. So protect yourself at all times. That's the same. I mean, that should be almost second thought now. You know what I mean? Because of where we are. Look at where we are. We're, well, you know, this is one of the things I was talking. Let me say this real quick. Okay. Because I'm tired of debating, because we've been debating on Facebook, and most has been about the election. Okay, and I'm tired of debating about politics. Like it's common sense to me right now. Okay, but one of the key things that people are saying is, what have a specific candidate did for Black people. What have they done for Black people? And I need all my Black people right now, okay, to stop this foolishness. I need them to stop this foolishness, because here we are, okay, 400 plus years later, and we're still talking about waiting for somebody to do something for us. We're at a time right now that's highly critical to do all this stuff for ourselves. I don't want to hear about I don't want to hear about no laws being biased. Because why? Because you're waiting for them to change a system that works for them. And that's never going to happen. Change it yourself. Each of these laws can be amended and modified. We can do this thing ourselves if we have the right amount of people. You know how easy it would be if I could have groups of 150,000 people just sitting there waiting for things to be done? It's because we have to go out here and chase these signatures from people when things happen in each individual case. We need to stop that. People need to stop saying what have anybody. It's not just the president. It's the president or anybody. Stop saying what have they done for us. They're not going to do absolutely nothing. They're going to do the bare minimum that they have to do for us. Do it for yourself.
So basically, it's going to be
you know, it's funny. It's funny she say that, because Raheem, did you watch the Harris Graham debate?
Harris Graham.
Thanks.
Yeah, you know, a Black dude got Lindsey Graham on the ropes.
Oh yeah.
Lindsey Graham seat.
Yeah. You talking about South Carolina?
He made a statement in that debate that woke a lot of people up. That woke a lot of folks up, both Republican and Democrat and independents.
Okay.
Because he said to Lindsey Graham, he said, "Listen, America." He said, "Let me just tell y'all, it's real funny to me that Senator Graham can stand here on this stage and tell y'all about how he want to pass legislation that's going to be beneficial to y'all. When it came down to the stimulus package and the unemployment insurance, he voted against it. While all at the same time voting for himself to receive a pay raise." And when he said that, man, you could hear the air just went straight out the room. Because people, for one, that's on the front of people's minds. Like, okay, I've been rendered unemployed, and these people talking about they don't want to give me they don't want to approve for me to get a stimulus, you know, so people was already a little upset at that. And then to find out that while they were shooting down these people getting this extra stimulus money, they had actually voted in favor of them getting a cost of living raise. So basically they shot down for you to get a couple extra dollars in your pocket,
but they got it for themselves.
But then but they took it for themselves, and their raises, their pay does not come from their work. That the people who pay them is us. So you know, when she said that, you know, sometimes you just gotta do things for yourself, she's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Like, you know, these folks are getting raises, but yet y'all getting anywhere from 2 to 4 raises a year. But yet you're not fighting for the cause of, for example, raising the national minimum wage. But yet you get a raise every year. We got people that's working in jobs that don't even get a raise every year. I know people that's working on jobs right now that have not had a raise in almost 5 years, right?
Good Lord.
5 years they've been working faithfully and has not received a raise in 5 years. That's a travesty, bro.
It is. It absolutely is. Let me go back to the phone lines. We got our Rico. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
What's going on, man? Out here a little early, about an hour early today.
There you go. There you go. Get it in, man. Got to get it in. What do you say about what we're talking about right now, Rico? They want to raise for themselves. They want a cost of living. They want a COLA raise, but they don't want to give a raise to the people. Where the extra money coming from? We can't get a raise, but you want more money from us. So you're gonna take the little bit of money that we're making and try to dig into the pot and take more money out of the pot, so you could get more money. But you're minimizing our pot a little bit in order to do that. What do you say to that?
Well, I say this is nothing new. I'm like Tawanda.
Mm-hmm.
These same conversations that get to a point where I'm tired of having them because this ain't the first time I done seen them do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't raised minimum wage in years. And it was years before they raised it to what it is now. But when they finally raised it, it's been so many years since they've done it. How many more raises have they received since then?
Mm.
So it's only so much talking you could do. So now, this goes back to what you were saying a second ago about receipts. This is the reason why it's so important to have receipts, not only in business, but in politics and everything else you do.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have proof, facts of the actions of people or the actions of your business. That's why I said that Kamala Harris sucked the other night in that debate, because these are things she could have brought up against Pence and the whole conservative party. She could have really just downed the whole conservative party herself if she would have addressed a few more topics. There's so many different things she could have brought up, like the minimum wage, like the raises, different things that she knows that the conservative party went against the American people for.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when you have those receipts, you got to use them.
Mm-hmm.
That was never bought up. That wasn't bought up one time in the debate. And in the years past, it had.
Hold on, Kurt.
They pick and choose. They pick and choose when they want to bring up pay raises.
Mm-hmm.
And we let them dictate that, when really and truly we still have problems on the table that we just let fall off and don't address them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Pay raises and minimum wage increase should be on the platform every election.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I just felt like the ball was dropped, and the Democratic Party really doesn't take advantage of all the receipts they have to just change this whole pendulum swing that goes back and forth between the conservative party. Because really and truly, if you look at it, they should never win. They really are there for the 1% and the white male, and they are the minority. So why are they even winning or even in contention every year?
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Let me go. I'm going to come to you right now.
Yeah, I want to say something as it relates to the national minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
Contrary to what people may know and think, you do know your local legislators can change that. You don't have to wait till the White House or the Congress or Senate passes that.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a conversation over and over again, but if you remember, in the city of Clarkston, the mayor raised the minimum wage for his employees that work for his city.
Mm-hmm.
He raised it to $15 an hour.
Okay.
When I was an elected official in DeKalb County, we raised the minimum wage to $14 an hour. So your local legislators do have some latitude that they can do for their people.
Okay.
But we're waiting on the White House and Congress to do X, Y, and Z.
So we're shooting at the wrong target.
You're shooting at the wrong target.
We do have to still.
Go ahead, Rico.
We do still have to shoot at the White House. We still have to shoot at the White House in legislation, because Birmingham did the same thing, and then the state came in and shot it down.
Well, then you got to have some strong legislators. You got to have some strong legislators. Right. But here's the thing.
So that's what
you're pointing to the White House. You got to point to your congressmen and your senators. These are the ones to introduce legislation that has to be voted on. And then then once they do it, then it goes to the president and he signs off on it. So I'm always leery of the smoke and mirrors, but it's always good to be educated. But at the end of the day, that's why you have local legislators.
Come on.
See, the White House don't run what goes on in Gwinnett County.
Yeah.
Your commissioners, your chairman of the commission, these are the ones that make that decision.
How much power do they have, the chairman and all these people, in comparison to the government? And I know all the runs together, but I'm saying, who has the most power?
Who has your local legislators? That's why we go vote for them. We vote for our governor. here in Georgia.
Yes.
We vote for our state representative, our state senators. We vote for the mayors and the city council or the county commissioners. We're the ones who vote for them.
Okay. Now, last bottom, just for conversation's sake, and for some of the listeners that may be listening, right? I know how this thing, but I'm the question asker, so I like to ask the questions. Lance Bottoms, how much power does she have? I know the governor is over the whole state.
Governor's over the state.
But Lance Bottoms, how much power does she have for her area? Can she supersede the governor?
She can. They're supposed to work hand in hand, parallel.
But you know that don't.
But
them two, it don't happen.
Well, if you remember how she opposed him, here's the governor, and he made an implementation. He wanted to implement something. She said, "I'm not doing that."
Yeah.
Then he decided he wanted to sue her.
Yeah.
But he knew he had a no-win case. But he just wanted to just slow up the progress of what she's trying to do. See, he ready to send folks back out there into the firing line. COVID is not clear. We have not got to all go.
Yeah.
So she said, we're not doing it. And she maintained. And she didn't yield and bow down to the governor because she has more people in the city of Atlanta that will back her up.
Yeah. Okay. So does that answer your question, Curtis? Curtis, who asked you?
Rico.
Rico. Does that answer your question, Rico?
I really didn't have a question because, like I said, I saw what happened in Birmingham. So, like you said, I misspoke when I said that about the White House. I meant in national politics.
Okay.
And the reason why I said that because I saw what a woman in Birmingham, the mayor of Birmingham increased the minimum wage, and the state came in and changed it over. So, like you said, that's where you start looking at your local legislation and state representatives, or you start looking at the fact of what judges are getting appointed, because it had to be a judge in Alabama that went against Birmingham and went along with the state to not allow them to increase the minimum wage. So it was like the same two cases or similar cases, but in Atlanta, she won, and in Alabama, we lost.
Tawanda, and Tawanda.
Hey, well, you know what? Hey, Raheem, I gotta get ready to go in the building, but I do want to say this. Let me interject this really quick. You know how we was just talking about those receipts and all of that, having receipts? What Rico said can be taken. It can be taken as serious value. And a prime example of what Rico said on a teaching, on a learning method, is the 270 plus bills that's sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk that he refused to bring up in the Senate. The reason why he don't want to bring those bills up is because he don't want his party to go on the record. He does not want a receipt on the record of showing that a large percentage of the Republican Party voted those bills down. Because those bills that he got on his desk, those 270 different pieces of legislation that he got on his desk that came from the House of Representatives, are bills that will ensure that the people are taken care of. So he don't want his party to go on record and look like they're voting against the people, against the better welfare of the people. You see what I'm saying? So because the Republicans, because Mitch McConnell is in charge of the Senate, in the Senate, when something passes through the House of Representatives, it goes to the Senate for passage. If it passes through the Senate, then basically it goes to the president. It goes back to the House for ratification, and then it goes to the president to be signed. But what he's doing is actually playing a game with people's lives and their livelihoods, because he's not even putting the bills up on the Senate floor for a vote. Because if he do that, it'll give the Democrats ammunition to be able to say, like Rico was saying, Kamala Harris could have brought that out. That look, and they're saying that they're the part that's for you, but they won't
truth of the matter,
vote
Kurt. But
for
truth of the matter,
Kurt.
But truth of the matter, there's so many different layers to everything that's on the table right now that this present administration is not doing. It would be real hard for her to bring up everything. You know, she had to kind of focus on some of the main things, some of the main issues out there, because they would have been back and forth, and then they would have said she's all over the place and blah blah blah. So I think she had to stay focused in a certain way, in a certain area, and I think she accomplished that.
Oh no, I'm not saying that she didn't accomplish what she set out to do.
Mhm.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, okay, let's put it like this right here. You want to know how Clinton beat them? You really want to know how Clinton beat them?
Talk to me.
Because they went on the record. They went on the record and they voted nay on certain bills. So every time Clinton got the mic, the first thing he would tell the American people is, look, we had this up on the floor. They voted no. We voted yes. Here's what it does. Here's what it was supposed to do. The American people then started realizing, hold on, they voted against me getting a tax break. They voted against me, blah, blah, blah. They voted against me, blah, blah, blah. No, we're going to put Clinton in here. No, because he's represented what we want. But what Mitch did was Mitch did the smart thing. According to politics, guess what I'm going to do? I'm not even going to put it up on the floor for a vote. Because if I put it up on the floor for a vote, it's going to make us look like, it's going to basically tell the people, it's going to provide truth to the saying that we are the representation of the 1%. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So I'm not saying that she did a bad job. I'm not saying she did a bad job. I'm just saying that what Rico said does make some sense.
Oh, absolutely.
In terms of receipts and ledgers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let me do this. Let me go to Wanda.
Make them go on the record. We got to start making them go on the record. We got to start developing receipts because right now, because he won't launch those 270, he can always say, we never casted a vote for that. So how can you say we're against that?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But see, my thing is this.
Right.
My thing is this right here, though, and y'all tell me if I'm right, if I'm wrong. Tawanda, I'm coming to you with this. A lot of times they're so deep in each other's pockets. They're so deep in each other's pockets that they're not going to do anything that's going to help the average person because that's not where their bread is buttered at right there. Now they're supposed to represent you. Yes, they're supposed to be there to make sure that everything is right. But at the end of the day, their hands are so deep in the pocket. You know, you got some out there and Bishop was in it. Bishop was in it, but he was in it for the right reasons. But you got some that's not in it for the right reasons. Some of them are in it because they know that it's going to lace their bottom line in a way, and that's what they go with. So, Tawanda, what do you say to that?
How we talk about this right now? But okay, Bishop, you got the water. Got the water, Bishop?
I got the water.
Okay. I mean, the reality is this. This is the reality. The reality is these people can only do what we allow them to get away with. That's in everything. That's not only the governor. That's everybody on this planet, from DAs that need to be removed, from judges that need to be removed, from judicial misconduct that needs to be addressed, okay? From bills that are not for us because we weren't even taken into consideration when they were made. We weren't even considered citizens. We allow this to go on. The more I learn, the more it baffles me that we really sit back and allow this stuff to continue to happen. It's the prime example of why we haven't had any progression. I'm not gonna say none, but we haven't had a lot. Prime example, people always want to debate me, but we can look at some of the really high profile cases of murder, from Botham Jean to all these people that were killed by the police. Okay, we don't know enough. Law is one of the things that we really need to figure out a way to encourage the youth, because we need more lawyers. Okay, we need more Black lawyers and we need more Black doctors, because we just don't know enough about law that we're repeating the same pattern. because we're doing it wrong. And we have so many people. This is why when we talk about receipts, you will start seeing, and it's already been happening, and you know I'm going to cover it and share it, okay, that they're calling out specifically these activists because they are not for the people. And they're just not. They're here for civil, but they're not here for anything criminal. And what's happening is we're allowing these people, specifically cops, to get away with murder. We're allowing them to get away with murder. It's plain and simple because of how you are charging an officer. I tell people all the time, okay, we would do a lot better once we understand that you cannot charge a uniformed cop that has qualified immunity with first-degree murder. It will never happen, okay? And all these cases, when you go through Botham Jean and you see that the cop is about to appeal and she's about to win. Any other case, all these other cases, this is why we have the outcome that we have, and then the people are upset, but we keep making the same mistakes. And that's not the only area. We make these mistakes in every single area because we don't know enough. And we don't want to take the time to learn what we need to learn. That's one of the things why I love Black Friday, because listen, if I don't know, I'm gonna tell y'all no. But you don't have a whole bunch of people that's going to do that, okay? So when we talk about that's the governor and all this other people, what are we doing to stop them from doing whatever they're doing wrong?
Yeah.
You have to get these people up out of here. If we want any hope, and that goes from the highest level down. One of the things I've been telling people for the last 2 years is your voicing, everything matters. People don't understand how powerful we are as people if we have unity. Like I said, we're not outnumbered. We're unorganized, extremely unorganized. If we had groups of people, right now, the biggest thing that you could do from your house, and you can sign petitions for all this stuff, 150,000 signatures, it automatically has to be addressed from the White House. If you do the right level of petition, it has to be. So when they say, okay, that they might not address the bill that's presented, you're going to address it, because guess what? I know that if I give you these signatures, that you have a certain amount of time to address it. So when it's not addressed, what we're not doing is we're letting that get swept under the rug. That's what needs to stop. We need to call these people out and let the people know just facts. Drop the receipts on everything, because these people are not for us. They're not doing us any benefit, and they're doing us more harm.
Exactly. And some people may be listening there and they say, well, I thought this was Black Friday. I thought this is where y'all talk about business. Well, everything that we're talking about is rolling right back to economics. And economics is a big part of your business. And so, yes, we're still talking about Black Friday. And yeah, it all ties together because it ties into economics. It ties directly into economics. And so you have to see what it is that's being said. Don't let it go over your head, because you're intelligent enough to understand exactly what we're saying. I think we have I was going to call his name, but Tawanda might want to say Flashlight. I think Flashlight is here. Flashlight, good morning, sir. How you doing, Mr. Toussaint?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning, sir?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I can't get too far into this conversation, but there's a simple cartoon that we used to hear as a kid. And you could say, I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. We didn't think much of that song when we was a kid, but it was trying to teach us the process.
Yeah.
How things work.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go back and look at that cartoon, pull it up, and see if I can learn something.
Mm-hmm. You think you'll learn something from it?
Oh yeah, I believe so.
Mhm.
That's basically what y'all talking about. We concentrate on the president
Mm-hmm.
and all the rest of them that we see every day. These politicians, and we go to the courthouse and we go to, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
We go to the courthouse and we bump into people that make good decisions for our lives, and they don't look at us and we don't look at them.
Donald.
But when elections come,
Tucson.
yes, sir.
You sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this
That's what you're talking about right
building
there?
here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad
Yes,
little
sir.
scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill.
Yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill.
Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee. But I know I'll be a law someday. I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." And he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill. And I'll remain a bill until they decide to make me a law. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee, and I'll sit here and wait. While a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law. I hope and pray that they will. But today I am still just a bill.
Listen to those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. Most bills never even get this far. I hope they decide to report on me favorably, otherwise I may die.
Die?
Yeah, die in committee. Oh, but it looks like I'm going to live. Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
If they vote yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the White House where I'll wait in a line with a lot of other bills
For the president to sign.
And if he signs me, then I'll be a law. I hope and pray that they will. But today I am still just a bill.
You mean even if the whole Congress says you should be a law, the president can still say no?
Yes, that's called a veto. If the president vetoes me, I have to go back to Congress and they vote on me again. And by that time, you're so
By
old.
that time, it's very unlikely that you become a law. It's not easy to become a law, is it?
No, but how I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
He signed your bill. Now you're a law. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Bishop.
Donald, let's pray. He played the whole commercial.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to make sure, because my thing is there's a lot of nuggets in there though.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole lot of nuggets in there, and if people look at it just as a cartoon, as a commercial, they'll miss it. But you've been in this thing for a long time.
Yes,
Explain, talk to them.
Well, what you just said, because I introduced legislation and had to go before the committee. Then we had to vote on it, and it was not just okay. It's a back and forth discussion. We didn't come up to an agreement on the first time it was introduced. We had to keep going back and forth, back and forth. When you really have to pressure your legislators. If you put the pressure on them, they're going to have to act on your behalf. And I think Kurt was saying something when he was talking about Mitch McConnell and certain bills that are put on his table. He don't want to introduce them because he don't want the story to say, well, you Republicans voted against it. However, if there is a situation that we get to that point, some of these elected officials have to come out and let the people know this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't vote on it. Why you didn't vote on it? It's been sitting on your table for months.
Yeah, exactly.
You just you don't want to introduce it to the Senate so it can either be voted for or voted against.
Yeah.
You just want to act like it doesn't exist. So I love that, and I play that same thing, the same commercial, Schoolhouse Rock for my grandchildren.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
I want them to know and
what's going
understand.
on. Yeah,
because I learned a lot through those cartoon commercials.
Saturday morning commercials.
Saturday morning commercials.
Yeah, all day long. As long as the cartoon was on, Schoolhouse Rock is coming on.
Yes, sir. I think they need to bring it back too. Tell you the truth about it.
We need to start all over again.
Yes, sir.
And start our own. Start our own. We don't need to bring their stuff back. We do our own. That's what we want to be on their thing. No, we get our own thing.
True. That's how I learned about politics as a child.
Have black people on.
Yeah. I ran for student government when I was in elementary school. Same thing in high school. When I went to college,
We can't call it Schoolhouse Rock again. We gotta call it something else.
Yeah.
The Rock on the Hill, something like that.
Donna, what can we call it?
I don't know, man. Maybe we can make it a rap song or something like that.
For the young folks. And see, we got a rapper. We got a rap on here with us. We got a rapper on here with us right now. So y'all don't understand.
Goodness.
We got two rappers actually. They got to come up with their own little name, but we got Rico and we got Tawanda. They come up with something now. That's the musicians right there.
Is out there now.
What's your rap name, Tawanda? What's your rap name? Come on, hit me with something.
Hey, you can have my listening flashlight.
Oh, they gonna call you Flashlight, Tawanda.
Well, they call it. No, I don't want flashlight. I don't want flashlight. I don't. Flashlight is too dim for me. Okay.
Oh Lord.
I need,
spotlight.
There you go.
Spotlight. You'll be the spotlight.
Yeah, I need the spotlight first. Yeah, we need. I need all the lights to surround me at one time. You know. See, flashlight it's got limited mobility right now. It's not the time for the flashlight.
Okay.
See, a flashlight was your club days. Yeah?
See now, spotlight.
We ain't at the club no more. Because Bishop, they came to this holy water. Okay. So we ain't partying in the club no more.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Pick up the ladies.
Tawanda. Bishop is the same one. Him and I was gonna say Dwayne. Him and Donna got on here talking about Puff Pass a couple of days ago. Now you be careful now. They talking about Puff Pass.
Hey.
Oh, see.
That's what I'm talking about. Yay!
Yes, you sparked some in it when you said Puff Pass. You sparked some in it. She woke up, boy. She ain't been that woke all morning. Yay! I said, "Oh my Lord! Wait a minute, sister, calm down. Sister, calm down."
We ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna get into it. But I speaking about that, I have to say this. Let me say this: that mental health. We need to have more mental health awareness for us, okay? Because we already go through. We go through so much and don't even know that we're going through it because we have to worry about the added risk of, are you going to make it home safely? So, Black mental health is one of the main things that we really, really need to focus on. However that need to be. Now, I highly don't recommend pharmaceutical drugs. So, however, whatever people do, simply like that. Okay? Focus on yourself. Focus on your mental health. At least, because you can't help nobody if you can't help yourself. So, that's one of the things. You run into these people that's already stressed out, and then we add more stress and more layers of stress. Specifically now, we at a time right now where I can't see it in to where we're at right now for at least a whole nother year. And that's just being realistic because nothing is being done the appropriate way. You'll start seeing other countries who we should be where they are, where they're pretty much safe to say that they're pretty much they done beat the curve because they've listened. because they've had great leadership, and doesn't matter what the people want, it's what the people need. We need to be able to beat this thing. We need to have some kind of normalcy back within our lives. How long are we going to walk around masked up? How long are we going to walk around? How long are we going to be on restriction? And don't, by all means, it really needs to be that way because of the so many people that we've lost, and we continue to lose, and we're going to continue to lose people because it's just really, really simple. And then, it's all about having someone to take it back to business. It's all about having someone that is for the people. You have so many people that is out here for the money, and yeah, that's beneficial. And you need money to run everything that goes on, but you need people that's out here for the people.
Yeah.
What benefit have we had for our inconvenience? I've been inconvenienced for the last almost year. Okay. I've been inconvenienced, and you mean you telling me that the only benefit is just sit back and wait and figure it out? We're the only country that our people have not been taken care of. It's been almost a whole year. They have given people, and well, not me, because I ain't getting no stimulus, okay? I ain't get the first one, okay? So I can't even say, but for some people, it's been a whole year since they got $1,200 to live on for the whole year. The whole year.
$100 a month.
Where you got these companies that bailed out that receive millions of dollars. I've talked to people that got the check, that got the payout, that got millions of dollars. While you have these little companies that got nothing. Where we could be okay, where they could have re-signed a bill which would allow people to evict people right now. I mean, what are you going to do? You're telling these people, you're telling them they can't go to work because they're not essential. And then now that the bill has expired, now these people's mass evictions. I mean, what are you going to do? Listen, we have to, it's going to come to a point in time where you just got to stop listening to these folks. I don't listen to it. And they ask me all the time, how do you cover media news and you don't listen to? I can't listen to it anymore. Because you have to unlearn what these people tell you because they told you a lie.
Yeah.
They feed you what they want you to know, not what you need. And that's what we need to understand. You need to know what you need, what we need, where we need to be. How can we advance to the next level? Listen, if people do nothing on this planet, we need to fix it for the next generation. You cannot leave this mess for the youth. They don't deserve it.
Exactly.
Because what we walked into, where we are now, I don't deserve it. But guess what? Once you wake up and you know what you know, you can't unsee it. And you have to have people, you have to find like-minded people that's going to be just like you and say, listen, this is not right. We got to let these people know, and we got to try to fix it. I don't care if you can fix it or not. Attempt to fix it.
That's true. That's true. We got a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Talking to me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Hey, doing good, sir. Doing good. How you doing this morning?
Hey, you told me to call, man. Why you gonna act like you didn't know my phone?
No, I say it across the board so people, give everybody get a caller because I can see you, but the callers, people that's listening and watching can't see.
Come on and clip you up.
Yeah, so I gotta make
sure. Come on and clip you up, bro.
What's on? I know you've been listening for a minute, brother. What's on your heart about where we are right now? We know we in a situation and but it's fixable. But are we putting the necessary tools into making it right?
I mean, it depends. I mean, because it takes every individual effort
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. You got to do it. You got to push yourself to want to work on it. And I think that's the biggest issue. There's always plagued this country is that there's always been some division about who gets this. I was hearing y'all talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Said it how even with the stimulus check. One of the things that you got to think just beginning of the week, 45 came out and said that he wasn't going to sign any kind of any stimulus plan, seeing that after the election. That's a ploy to say the only way I can get some money is I vote for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to understand that what's happening here. There's a lot of things that's happening to us right now that we probably don't understand right now, but eventually it'll come to pass where you're going to look up and say, wow, we've been doing this for years. America has traditionally mistreated their people for years. And like the young lady just said, I was listening to somebody talking about Canada. Canada been given stimulus package. They had a stimulus package put in place before the pandemic actually started to take steam.
Mm-hmm.
Where once they were saying, look, once we have this, if we get to this point, this is what we do. They had multiple plans in order to service their people.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that because we have so many people out here so self-centered. And a lot of times, a lot of people that are in office, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them in office, they have a complex where they want to be wanted. You got to think, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham said something about people in South Carolina that blew my mind. He said that he didn't believe that they should have gotten that much, that $1,200,
mm-hmm.
because his people, the average of the people that live and work in South Carolina don't make that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
What does that relate to the people who put you in office?
Exactly.
Horrible.
But there's the people that's supposed to represent us, though. Those are the very people that's supposed to represent us, man. So it's crazy.
My point is that, but I'm looking at, you even have the audacity to want to debate this. Say this is the reason why you should vote for me. But the reason why he's been voted in, and just like 45 voted in, he was on an emotional, racist ticket.
Exactly. Let me go to
and that's what happened.
You're absolutely right. Let me go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I'm gonna go back a while in a little bit into the conversation to something earlier. I like what Tawanda and Donald was saying about the process, and I realized that for us to make a lot of these changes, people have to be aware of a strategy. And they have to be resilient. They have to understand what type of resilience it would take to get some of these goals accomplished, because there are decades of layers piled on top of making sure this stuff exists and stays in place. So we're fighting decades worth of legislation with other layers piled on top of it to make sure it works. So now I go back and I look at examples of how we can get people on the same page, or back to a place like it was in the past where people were aware. And then that commercial came on. Perfect.
The
These
bill?
people understand the bill commercial.
Yeah.
Perfect. These people understood the science. They understand the science. The same people, business owners, these big Fortune 500 companies like Amazon and these toy companies, they understand the science. They have psychologists that come in and evaluate and give them analysis on how to market to people. And that key word is programming. So that Bills commercial, that was programming, that was science. They knew that we could teach these children about government and we make it fun and interesting and put a cartoon spin on it. And maybe it was intended for Black people to see it, because I said yesterday, a lot of Black people start wanting to learn about government and politics and business in schools if they start seeing a bunch of pictures of old white people that look like they mean and don't like them. So they don't want to pay attention to this stuff. So now here it is, you get to watch cartoons and you get to learn some proper education in song, dance, and animation. And you subconsciously learn something that's very valuable and important to you. That's big to me, that to know that you can actually trick somebody into learning what's important for them. So they've been using this science for decades. We won't use it. And so now that's one issue I want to bring up. And then I think about the lunch counter tactics and training. Those people found out a tactic, a strategy, and then they had to be trained to be resilient and take somebody spitting on them, calling them all kind of N words, knocking their food on the floor, kicking and hitting them. I mean, they had to learn how to take that. We're going to teach y'all how to sit here and not fight back. Had to be trained, had to be programmed to be resilient and take that. So, okay, we see that happen. And we should understand from this point on that some of this confidence, some of this resilience, and some of these tactics that we need to do better have to be trained hands-on, grassroots. You just can't talk about it and tell people.
But
they
Rico,
need to see it and experience it. It might take.
How do you Rico? How do you?
3 months.
Rico, let me ask you this question: how do you unlearn? How do you unlearn something that's been poured into you for a long time? We got to get to the place where we can unlearn it because it's embedded. And until we can get to the place where we can unlearn and overstand it, not understand it, but overstand what's going on and what's happening to us, then we're gonna remain in that same place.
You have to be exposed to the light. You have to be exposed to the truth, the facts, and the receipts. If somebody exposed the receipts to you, the proof, you know what I'm saying, then you can see where you've been deceived and fooled. And you can say, you know what, the whole time I've been valuing this mess, I really and truly was degrading myself or hurting my community. So it's about being exposed to the proper tactics and strategy and value. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that we are asking for, complaining about, we dropped the ball because we didn't have the hands-on training to pass down to the generations under us. You know, it was left to certain people to do it, and those people started thinning out. So now we're looking at what can we do? What can we do? Well, let's use music. That's what they use music to demoralize our community. Let's use it to build it up. Well, we don't own the music. They put the music out they want to put out. They put the news out they want to put out. Yeah, but the news that we do know they're not putting out, well, let's do the same thing. Create our platform. We have to be confident. And I think about those guys, and I'm not condoning this, but at the same time, there's a mindset that comes with confidence. And it can get extreme. But Tawanda said earlier that we aren't confident, and well, in so many words, we aren't confident. For some reason, we won't take the initiative to stand up for ourselves. I think about those guys that wanted to kidnap the governor. They were confident to make a change. Crazy, wrong, but they still wanted to make a change and make an effort, and they were going to do what they had to do. They weren't sitting up complaining. They had went into action. And you can't even get us to go out and link up together just to organize and sit down.
Man,
they have a talk like this, but they organize to come together to commit a crime.
Why can't we?
Civil war and all kind of stuff.
Rico, let me ask you a question, and this may seem very small, but I think it's huge. Why can't we all come together, buy a big plot of land, and make a garden, and plant some garden, vegetables and all kind of things that we need for ourselves? We don't have to go to the grocery store and just provide it for the people that's in need. Why can't we do that? Bishop, what do you say to that?
I just don't.
Go ahead, Rico.
I think people have a selfish mindset, and like you said, they need to unlearn the nature that we have to want to consume what's in place and feel like that's the only thing available.
Bishop, what do you say to that?
I see that something like that could be done, but people have to be willing. And as I'm sitting there thinking, as you ask the question, I'm thinking, say, this person ain't gonna get mad at this person. He want to plant turnip green.
Yeah.
There's no one plant collard green. And they think, they fussing and fighting about what green they want. But don't you know you can plant both of them? people don't understand that. I'm gonna go back to what Rico was just speaking about, the attempted abduction of the governor of Michigan. If you go back and recall, President Trump made a statement about that particular governor. And how she needs to be out the way. She's holding such and such up. So his white supremacy group decided, hey, you know what?
Let's get her.
Let's get her. I'm gonna do what the president said.
He gave him a marching orders.
And that's it. And when he did not have the opportunity to denounce the white supremacy group
And he didn't do it.
He said, stand down and stand by.
Mm-hmm.
That means y'all be ready for action. I listen.
Blew the whistle.
That's it. People don't pay attention to what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now we sit back and argue and complain about what we're not getting, but then when they send us a $1,200 stimulus check, and I heard some of our cousins, I said just like that, say, I'm gonna vote for him. He gave me $1,200.
He ain't give you nothing.
He ain't give you nothing. You know what? Because you give me a piece of cake, don't mean I'm gonna marry you.
Exactly.
I will eat your cake, but I ain't gonna marry you. So we just basically sell out just for $1. And I wrote a post on Facebook said, "What will you give in exchange for your soul? Will $1,200 do it?"
To a lot of people, yes.
Well, man,
to a lot of people, yes. And sad as it is, to a lot, what is it? Man, I can't remember more scripture right now.
What does a man profit if he gain the world and lose his soul?
Exactly. What in the world? Tawanda, what's on your heart?
Oh, I agree. I mean, we just have to get to a place where we learn what we need to learn.
Or unlearn.
Or unlearn. First unlearn, then learn. Because, like I said, every week, you guys know, you should be tired of hearing me say, I'll learn what you learn, specifically in business. Because how it's taught is not how we need to do things. We can't. We can't afford it. We can't afford it. I don't care how much money we have. We cannot afford to do it like the initial plan and how we're taught to do things, which is in business. If we take it back to business, is to mass market. We can't do that. Matter of fact, even if I could have the money to do it, I wouldn't want to do it. Why? Because it's so more convenient for me, and not to waste my breath, is to talk to the people. Boom, that want to talk to me.
Yeah.
Talk to the people that specifically need what I have. That's what I want to talk to. I don't want to talk to Bob and Sally and try to convince them that they need whatever service or product I have. I don't have time for that. I don't have the energy. Why put yourself through that when you could just talk to the people? And I'm already looking for what you got. I'd rather talk to them versus talk to people that you know that don't even care. And this is what we do in life, not only in business, but in life. We go out, we try to convince people. And I don't have time and energy anymore. And people shouldn't have the time and energy anymore. The only thing that you can do for people is you can give them the truth. They have to decide if they want to accept the truth and they want to go on with the truth. All our job is to expose the truth. That's it. Lay the cards on the table and provide whatever we can. And this is why I love everything about business. This is why I love Black Friday. This is why Black Friday has been expanded. And next year it's going to be something totally a part two to this Black Friday. It's not going to be free. I'll tell you that right now. It's not going to be free.
Yeah.
It's going to be highly beneficial to get those large groups of people. It's going to be highly beneficial to be able to place people that have products and service that we absolutely know that we need. And specifically, you got the real estate guru that's telling y'all that he's going to teach y'all everything that he knows. He's going to give y'all the $2 billion sauce to his people because he want to teach his people for $97. Okay. It's not no way. It's no way that he shouldn't sell out.
Yeah.
He should have people on extended waiting lists because this is stuff that we need. And you hear people complain all the time about this stuff is not accessible. It's out there. Things is out there. People are not looking. You're not looking for it. It's out there. Everything right now, people should be. You learn something new. If you have the time, learn something new. Even in the midst of a pandemic, you have some amazing people. You got Harvard University who's offering free classes. Take a business class. All these people that's giving out free stuff because they want people to continue to learn. Take some business classes, or take something that will help you out if you cannot go to your 9 to 5. Do something productive.
Exactly. Now, Minister Neal, talk to us about how do we unlearn, because we've been taught so much, and a lot of what we've been taught is not helping us or benefiting us in the way that we should. It should as a group of people. So how do we unlearn in order to wash the slate clean, if you will, so we can put in place the good things that's going to help us? How do we unlearn?
I mean, by educating yourself. But we have to. I was listening to some of the comments. And one of the things I think that we don't talk about is that we compromise our well-being for being lazy. And I say that to you because I've heard this for now. You got to think we're going to the last kicking hour of this election, and we're still begging black folks to vote. And they're still coming with the same excuses. Our vote don't count. And I always have to say, who told you that? Who told you? And no one can ever tell me who told you that. So we have to start by, we can't wipe any slates clean when we're leaving our brothers and sisters out here hanging, because you really and truly, you're a stunt double. What I mean by that, you're faking like you with the cause, but when it's time for you to put it in action, you either got an excuse or you don't do it. You're leaving me hanging because you telling me your vote don't count. Well, if it don't count, vote anyway. So we have to, some stuff we have to start taking responsibility for. Again, I'm still confused how you can stand in a line at a club during a pandemic, but you won't stand but you're complaining about I'm not standing in line to vote because of the coronavirus. It's condescending.
Exactly.
These are the things that affect black businesses, because you got to think how you vote locally. It goes through from the point of how they get there, who's in office, who can start. They can stop them from getting different permits and things of that nature. You know, you got to think about who and what you affect. Mr. said earlier about the voting. One thing we have to understand is that you're not voting for yourself. You're voting for your grandkids.
Yeah.
It has to trickle down.
Exactly.
We have to stop looking at a broader picture. We don't look at that because we're too busy complaining about things. And a lot of times I just think that's not. I thought it was this complacency. It's not that. You're just lazy. You're just lazy because you don't want to do, because you feel like it's going to be inconvenient to you. The things that you do want to do, you go to no extreme. So I'm a little confused about that. So we can have we ask all these questions, but again, it got to start with yourself. What did Mike Jackson say? Start with the man in the mirror.
Yes, sir.
Take a look at yourself. Take a look at yourself. Period.
Yeah. That's how it is. Bishop, what's on your heart?
I'm just listening to Minister Neal and what he was saying. And I think it's absurd that you will go stand in the line at a club hours and hours to get in, but you won't go stand in the line to vote. Even when it was the Black Friday, how they go out there and put up tents to wait until the stores open at 5 a.m.
Exactly.
So they can get in there and get that. I think our priorities have really been shattered.
You think?
Mentally.
You think?
Yes, sir. I think.
God.
Yeah. I think, I'm going to go back to the stimulus check.
Okay.
And Wanda said this about people being evicted. Well, when the folk got that check, they went bought big screen TVs and shoes and all that stuff, and did not think about paying their rent or utilities. But here's the crazy thing, my brother.
Talk to me.
They took that money, spent it the way they wanted to, and then they called the church to see if the church can help them pay whatever bill.
I say it all the time. People buy what they want and beg for what they need, man.
Yeah.
People buy what they want and go out and beg for what they need.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. Donald, what's on your heart? Talk to me. Tucson, you there?
Can I say it? Can I say it?
But
He got changed the batteries in his flashlight.
Tawana, it wasn't your turn.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Boy, y'all something else.
No, and we see it every day. I mean, we see nails done. We see hair done. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing about it, it's nothing like a beautiful sister. Beautiful woman. Nothing like
you know what's beautiful?
Keeps herself up.
You know what's beautiful though? What's more beautiful even than that? Can I tell you something that's what's more beautiful than even that?
Go ahead. I'm particularly on the same track. Go ahead.
If her bills are paid.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
If her bills are paid,
I'm trying to tell you.
Go ahead, talk to me. Talk to me.
So, what I'm talking about. If it doesn't matter, the beauty goes away when the house and the children are neglected. The attractiveness of that, all of that effort, it goes away when you're not taking care of it.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I'm just as silly as I could be. Y'all know I'm silly. But girl come up to you, you're a single man. Girl come up to you, man, looking like Halle Berry. Beautiful, like Halle Berry. Figure like a young Janet Jackson. And she get to talking to you. And the more she beg, the more the stuff start falling off. She come up to you looking like a Halle Berry, body like a young Janet Jackson. But she begs so much, man, she walk away looking like Grace Jones.
God, man, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Give her some water. Give her some water.
I'm just
man, I'm gonna tell you. He did
I'm
not
just
say that.
Look at Rico, talk to me, man. You know, talk to me. Help me out, Rico. I'm digging a hole for myself, brother.
Man,
talk
no
to
gonna come
me.
get you talking about his sister. Bishop Noah Jones.
I know, right?
I didn't really get what that question was.
No, I see somebody come up to you, a young lady come up to you looking beautiful, man. Look like Halle Berry with a body like a young Janet Jackson. And the more she talked, the more she begging. I need money for my light bill. I my phone. I need my nails done. I need gas in my car. And the more she begging, stuff start falling off. And then you walk away and look back at her, and she looked like Grace Jones. Can you know? And we talking about a lot of times, a lady can be real beautiful, and it's good that she's beautiful, but at the same time, it's better if her bills are paid and y'all walking hand.
Don't let him set you up, Rico. Don't let him set you up.
I'm just a question asker. That's all I am. But Rico, can that attitude in her be very unattractive?
You mean what? I mean, you said looking good, but her bills ain't paid.
No. The more she begging, the more she asking for stuff, and the more she begging for things, you know, it just becomes so unattractive to you, and it turns you off.
Oh yeah, that's anybody. There's always, you know, I mean, opportunity is never attractive. You know, a beggar. I mean, you know, that's never attractive, especially when they're using their
assets,
beauty, or appeal to try to get it from you. Because now they almost manipulate you. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they're trying to con you, or tempt you into buying something that's really not even worth it. You know, they got an agenda just to come and get that out of you. Okay, and I'm gonna use my looks, and I'm gonna flaunt my tail, and I'm gonna, you know, throw my tail fell or whatever it is I need to do in front of them and see if I get his attention. And they'll peacock in front of you and get your attention because they know you got that money. You know, it's all that's that science. I was speaking of earlier, of advertising and getting people to get involved and interested in something that they normally not interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was glad you brought that. I'm glad you brought that to the table, because at first I couldn't come back to this, but now I can. I like what Mr. Mills said a second ago about we have to educate ourselves to get some kind of change. But that's part of it, and that works for those that are motivated to want to learn or want to do better. But for those that don't know any better, they have to have somebody else to teach them. Some of us aren't. Some people aren't motivated to go out there and be educated or don't know any better. So it gets down to a factor where the knowledgeable. Well, I'm gonna say this is what we got to have. We got to have grassroots outreach.
Mm-hmm.
That means the haves got to reach out to the have-nots, because the have-nots might not even know what's available out there, so they can be one of the haves, or they may have given up hope, or the path to it just seemed a little too difficult. Maybe it seemed like there were too many obstacles, and they didn't realize it was a lot easier than what they thought. All they had to do was put the time into it, or the effort that they did into anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I say the knowledgeable has to reach out to the unknowledgeable. The educated has to reach out to the uneducated.
Mm-hmm.
And the prime example for that is yesterday I was in the NAACP meeting. And our NAACP down here, man, when I tell you the meetings are pitiful.
Mm-hmm.
The whole operation is in disarray. It's active, but it's not functioning properly.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not able to get anything done. So yesterday at the meeting, he put us on three-way or on a speaker call with an attorney whose whole family are attorneys, brothers and sisters across the United States. They born in New York, born in Virginia, Illinois, you name it. They Georgia, and I mean they all over the place are brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And she made a comment that she would do whatever she could to reach out to the community to help. Whatever value she could be of us, she would be there. And I started thinking to myself, well, why we got to reach out to you if you already know that this is available, that this is needed?
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't have to call you and say, hey, come to the meeting. Be honest with you, you should be the president of over the NAACP. Mm-hmm. But why should we reach out to the attorneys? You know what I'm saying? And see, this is my thing. They were saying, well, it's hard to get people motivated and get the momentum up to get people to come to NAACP meetings. I'm like, you know what, man? We want to change people. Take these lawyers and these investment bankers and people that's living out of town and driving these I-8s and these Ferraris, drive them into the neighborhoods where these kids looking up the dope dealers. Mm-hmm. And when they ask them if they sell dope, they can tell them, no, I went to college.
Mm-hmm.
Then they can see. I could drive the same stuff these dope boys and these rappers and these athletes drive. I ain't got it ain't nothing wrong with being a square. You know, because sometimes you get told you don't want to be no square.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had an investment banker or a doctor or attorney or just a registered nurse with good credit can come through your hood in a Corvette and pull up and get all the eyes, let that eye candy attract them.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's outreach. Hey, sir, what you do? I got a degree in such and such, computer science. I'm an architect. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, who are they coming back to reach out actually to the people that they say need to improve? That's the answer right there. The haves got to reach back out to the have-nots.
You know what, Rico, and I'm listening to you. That's loud and clear. And as you were speaking about that particular attorney, and you made the suggestion that, hey, you know what, you should be the president of the NAACP. We just really need to get more involved. We really need to wake up to what's going on around us and around this world, because I'm gonna tell you, we're actually losing out. So I wonder what you feel about it. How you feel?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. We need to come together as a community. This is what happened, and this is what we lost. We lost so much of this because we don't communicate no more with each other. Let me explain something. I don't know what happened. Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to debate what happened. This needs to be fixed. If I go out, even in my own neighborhood, okay? I'll tell you something. This is what I want to say. Even if I go out on my own neighborhood, I must to go out and walk right now. Okay, and it's predominantly black, but it's over the years been mixed. Okay, so you You're going to have black people out there walking. You're going to have white people. You're going to have all different nationality, Puerto Ricans. Okay. Now, this is what I want to say. The prime example of how I can prove that we just don't stick together like we need to be. That's where we need to be. I can walk down the street, and I used to do it all the time in the morning. I used to walk my son to school. Now he rides the bus because he goes from right down the street. I can tell you right now that if I was walking down the street and I walk past a Caucasian person, 9 out of 10 times that person is speaking in the morning. Okay? They're speaking in the morning. Oh, good morning. How are you doing? Speaking in the morning. Okay? It is our own people. Okay? I don't know how many times, because listen, in the morning time, that early, listen, I don't got nothing to be mad about. I don't got nothing to be upset about. I'm not saying that, because you don't never know what people is going through. This is why I'm saying mental health is so important, because people are waking up and they don't even have nothing to be upset about, and that's their mood, to where we're not even speaking to each other. People would rather go to avoid speaking. Okay, people to put their head down, they go to the other side of the street. We need to get back to communicate with each other, coming together as communities, watching out for each other in the community. I don't know how many times I see little kids doing stuff that they have no business doing. Why? Because we've lost the ability to basically co-parent, to be able to, if I see your kid doing something that's inappropriate, then to correct that child and then let you know. We can't do that anymore. That's how the society, and this is why we are it's an epidemic, huh?
I'm gonna tell you something, and you're absolutely right in what you're saying. You're on point with it, but I'm gonna add something to it. A lot of times, for whatever reason, and I can't for the life of me understand it, a lot of the adults that's walking around here are afraid of the young people.
Yeah,
they're afraid of them, and that's one of the reasons why they won't say that to them, because they're afraid. And I'm like, how do we get to the point where we're afraid of children, little teenagers? How do we get there?
And listen, they complain about the youth all the time, and this is why I have no problem. We raised them. Who raised them? We did. We raised this generation of children that have little to no respect. Some of them. It's a lot of great. And then the ones that do, like we have all these great kids that's athletes, that's 12 and 8 and 9, that's in college, and they get no recognition. Why? Because they're doing something positive. Those are the people that we need to highlight, so people, the youth, can see that, hey, they're out here making it. We need to also have programs where, this is a whole new generation of kids. I had to sit down and talk to my nephew and talk to my daughter who said, listen, I'm not going to college. I'm not going to spend all this money and be in debt, because I know for myself, I'm still paying off student loan debt. But, that's their choice. And, I can't do anything but respect it, to say, listen, I'd rather get a trade. I'd rather do this because I'd rather be my own boss. I'd rather be, this is the thing, we have, these kids are genius. They're going to figure out where we drop the ball, because they know that, hey, listen, why am I going to spend all this money to work for somebody else when I can work for myself? This is what we need.
Yeah.
If we take the time out of next year to specifically focus on Black business and development, specifically focus on branding Black business, and we will have, I don't know how many more millionaires overnight.
Let me read something here, and Minister Little, I'm coming to you with this, and it came off on Curtis Clemens. That's the brother that I ran for sheriff here in Gwinnett County. He posted this on his page, and I'm going to repost it on my page as well. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to post it on my page. But it says this: we have come to live in a society based on insults, on lies, and on things that just aren't true. It creates an environment where deranged people feel empowered. That's from Colin Powell. Minister Neil, what do you say to that?
I mean, it's a powerful statement. It is true. I think that's something that we need to all take to heart. In the conversation, that one of the things that I learned too is that even with the uneducated, we have to realize that we have to pass down, or not say pass down, but reach out. And I was hearing y'all speak about the young people, how we're afraid of them. I'm with them every Saturday a lot of times. And it's funny that I don't see them as a threat.
No.
Because I used to be them. And when you can relate to it, see what happens a lot of times when you are going into these places, you have to be transparent. And sometimes we're not being transparent enough. We're telling them. It's like something simple as pull your pants up. You tell them to put their pants up because you don't want to see it, but in their mind they're looking like I don't care. But the reason why I'm saying this is because it was a brother was in there. He was like, man, I know what y'all out here doing, but how you supposed to be this big dope boy, but you can't run from the police with your pants down? Put your pants up. Psychologically, you have to give them something that they can relate to. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and understand exactly what you're saying.
So it's not so much that they're afraid of them; it's that they can't relate to them. That's why a lot of people call us old heads or we outdated, things of that nature. I'm fine with all that, but until they get to talking to them, and I start telling them the things I've done. I said, I just been favored by God that I came from a dope coming to the college classroom. I was favored by God. I was.
Yes, sir.
I was favored by God. I could have been doing 20 years easy because the guys I hung around. So I don't see it as I'm outdated or I'm afraid. That's why I say when I look at you, I'm not afraid of you. I just said, I know I used to be, because I used to be you. I literally used to stay and talk the same way you talk, but it was just that but it took somebody to take an interest in me to actually come out and just put their arm around me. It don't take number one. It don't take number one. The Bible says that if one come to Christ, the heavens will rejoice. It don't take number one. It's all just one. It's all we got to do is everybody just take one. That's what we have to do. And I don't think that, I don't think that they're afraid of them. I just think they just feel like they're out there. And you and I both know we've gone to the church together.
Yeah.
Where we've had pastors say, bring them in here. No, you go out there to them.
Because they're not coming to the church. They're not coming in there.
No, they don't want to. They don't. They call being in the street the trenches. Think about this psychologically, how that sounds. Oh, we going out in the trenches. No, I'm going out and see my people.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's how we gotta look at it.
Good point, Bishop. What's on your heart?
I was saying, thank you, man. I was doing my little history about our great state of Georgia and the different roles that everyone played. And this is just arbitrary, just a question I'm gonna throw out, and I just want some feedback if that's possible.
Yeah, come on.
I'm going back to when Rico was talking about the NAACP. Do you think that a Caucasian individual can run the NAACP, or is it just stuck with blacks running the NAACP?
Is to me, I'll be the first one to jump on that one. I think it's based on the heart of the individual. I think it's based on the heart of the individual. Most people would say that they would rather have a person that looked like us running the organization that's supposed to be for us,
right?
Because they've experienced what it is that we've gone through. I can't go to a person that has never been an alcoholic and tell them and expect them to explain to me what it's like to walk as an alcoholic. I can't go to a person that's never drank or smoked and say, well, what is it to be an alcoholic? They could tell me what their mind says but experience tells you much too. I go to the alcoholic that's overcoming it, and I can look here. What is it like, man? He said, and he could explain to me how he had his dog days where he was belly up, where he couldn't get up, where he couldn't do nothing. He probably urinated and done other things on himself because he was just that intoxicated. A person that's never been through that can never explain it to me.
Well, if you look at the organization's name, it's the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. It doesn't altogether mean that because you're colored, you have to be the president of this organization.
But it does mean that you have to have some, and again, I say that it has to be based on the heart. But most people would say that, I ain't gonna even say most people, I would say that I would like for it to be somebody that looks like me, that had the same experiences that I've had. A person that's not that's outside of our race can't tell me the experience of being a black man. I know much better than you do because I've been that all my life.
Again, it goes back, and I heard what you said, and I agree. The heart of the individual. Has your grandmother or your mama ever used the term "your John Brown self"?
Yeah.
All right. Do you know? Are you familiar with who John Brown was?
I have no idea.
All right. John Brown was a white abolitionist. He abhorred slavery. He lost his life for blacks. He wanted blacks to be advanced. He wanted them to move forward. Okay. What about the two Jews that was with the black brother in Mississippi? I mean, I think it's Alabama. Well, them two different states, whatever. I can't think of the state now. But all three of them got killed, the two white guys and the black guy, for the advancement of colored people. So I look at the name of the organization, the National Association for the Advancement, and I think there are a lot of blacks, a lot of whites that do care about blacks and willing to die for them.
I can accept that, but let me ask you this question here, and then we're going to pull some more people into the conversation.
Pull them in.
Do you think John Brown's experience in his life, even though he had a love for people, which is a beautiful thing, can't nobody ever say anything against that, but do you think his experience in his life will be the same as a Martin Luther King or Malcolm X?
Well, he was killed.
Okay, both of them, all of them are dead, but I'm talking about the experiences while they lived.
What they saw that the blacks were dealing with made him become an advocate.
I understand what you're saying.
Freedom and right.
But life experiences, do you think his life experiences was the same, equal in any kind of way to Martin Luther King or Malcolm X?
Do you know advice itself is a better tool?
Bishop, you're not answering my question.
I can't say his life experience because he was a white man. He was treated differently.
Okay.
Oh no, let's flip it. My grandmother was white.
Okay. Hold on, Bishop. Stay where we are. Then we talk about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, or what's his name?
John Brown.
John Brown. Yes. Let's stay right there. Let's talk about that. Okay.
Do I think John Brown's experience was the same as a Martin Luther King
or Malcolm X?
Absolutely not.
Okay. That's why I would rather for them to head this organization than I would him. Nothing against him. I love what he's doing, and I love the heart that he have for people and for all of our people. He could be a part of what we're doing. But if I didn't elect a leader of that organization, it would be either if they were still here, it would be Martin Luther King or Malcolm X because of the experiences that they had as a black man. Anybody else have anything to say to that?
Yeah, I can go on that. I think that can be possible. I'm gonna tell you why. It's really a simple question, a simple answer. A child can't advocate for himself or herself, so they have to have an adult that was once a child but is not a child anymore. I'm not a woman, but I can advocate on behalf of women. You know, I might know my mama or my grandmama's experience. I might know my neighbor's experience. I can advocate on behalf of them. I might be able to get the words across to the people that they need to hear it better than them. And now I'm gonna give you a prime example. It's this white woman professor, Jane something. I normally can think of her name, but I can't think of it right now.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Those tactics that she used to get white people to understand how racism works and how black people feel, I ain't met a black person or seen a black person in my lifetime that can get across to white people the way she did or get that point across the way she did. That took a mindset from a person. Maybe other black people did think of that, but they couldn't get to the point to where they could get enough white people in a room to do that experiment. But the thing was she was the best available person to get white people to sit down and listen and understand how it felt through those actions. So sometimes you might have to get a white representative, an attorney. A white attorney, if I had to hire him, he still might not be able to relate to my black experience, but he got to represent me and save my life or whatever it is I'm going to court for. So yes, the NAACP can be led by the qualified white person with the right intentions, you know. And I'm gonna go back to something you said earlier. I guess I'm going back to the outreach thing, you know. Oh man, I'm almost lost a little bit. Now I had it right on the tip of my tongue. But the outreach is so important, you know, like I said, because if the people don't know any better, you know what I'm saying, they're not gonna know to come to the church, to come to that business, or to come to wherever it is that they need to find out the necessary information for them to do better. You know. So I think like they were saying earlier, you know, I'm repeating it again, that community outreach, man, we got to go out to the trenches. Like Minister Neal said, you know, go out to the trenches and educate these people that don't realize that they can do better. And some of them are searching for a way out, you know. But, you know, as far as that having the white representative, yeah, that is very possible. You know, I mean, if push came to shove, I would get somebody white to represent me if I could utilize them, and they were honest about their opinion.
Okay, let me ask you this question, and then we're gonna go to Tawanda, and we're gonna circle around, go on everybody to. I want to hear everybody's input on this right here. But if you had to make a choice between John Brown, Malcolm, or Martin heading the NAACP, which one would you elect? Is based on your vote right now. All of them are still here. Who would you elect?
I would go with Martin.
Why?
I would go with Martin because Martin had the olive branch. Martin was one of the black people that could reach across the aisle. He did get the white people to come aboard and march across the Selma Bridge with him. You know, after the first Bloody Sunday, they came back in full force with white people and Jews and rabbis all across the country. Some people came from overseas, maybe, to do that march. You know, so yeah, I would choose Martin. And I know what it was I was gonna say. I lost my track. You asked what happened, and I think what happened is we bought into the illusion of the American dream, because somewhere in the past we were told if we followed a certain process and did certain things and accomplished or achieved these certain goals, then we can have this American dream. And we got consumed and self-centered and chasing that American dream because we felt like it was going to bring us peace and harmony in our lives compared to what our ancestors went through. So that became such a goal to achieve this American dream, but they didn't understand the American dream wasn't the material and superficial things that you wanted. It wasn't the cars and the air conditioning houses and the swimming pool in the backyard. It was the right to be able to still live peacefully and survive and have justice when somebody violated you. That was the biggest issue. So I think that's what happened. And as far as that post that Mr. Clemens put up, you know what I'm saying, that's another post too that, you know, we have to ask a question of why and how insults and everything has become prevalent. You know what I'm saying? The post that he made, it's one thing to acknowledge that. I think all of us see it, but now we ask why. Why does that exist? Why is that atmosphere here now? Why is it prevalent?
Exactly.
And how do we change?
Tawanda, what's on your heart right now? What do you say to that? Can that happen? Can someone that don't look like us run NAACP and run it effectively the way that we think it should be ran? Say it, Bishop.
Oh man, Bishop. Bishop.
I'm listening.
You got your water.
Yes, I do.
You got the water, Bishop.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that is it possible? It's possible. It can happen. Should it happen? No, because it shouldn't happen. No. One of the primary reasons is we need to be able to learn how to be self-sufficient all the way through from every aspect of business. If we want to fix this, we need to learn. I don't know how many times we are reliant on someone else to help us. To take care of the things that we need to know this stuff. We need to learn this stuff. And if it has to be a point where it's somebody elected, okay, that can teach you, then by all means, then you go to the table and you learn, but you bring that knowledge back, and then you bring it back to your community. So the next time, you don't have to. One of the primary problems that we have in Black business development is people are saying, this is what they say to tell me every day. Well, I don't need to be at their table because I can build my own table, which is true. It's true. And it's highly critical that we do that, but we got to encourage the people that before you go and you try to build this table without a manual, without reading the direction, that you know what you're doing enough to at least start the process. Okay.
Okay.
We have a problem where we're just out here doing anything. And this is why you have these organizations. This is why you have these leaders that are getting exposed. They're getting exposed for fraud. They're getting exposed for things that they have no business doing because they have no idea. They want to be. They're just in a position that they have no idea how to run.
Okay.
So can they be? Yeah. I mean, it could be. It could be, but would I probably be a part of it? No, because I want us to be self-sufficient. I want us to learn how to take those lead roles. I want us to be able to not be reliant on a system and not be reliant on people. That does not look like us.
Exactly. Minister Neal, what do you say to that?
I totally agree with her because of what she's saying is so true. That's one handicap, and that we are leaning towards people to lead, people that are shit there. We have internally have people who can lead us, and I think those are the things that we have to look at. Because something that I hear civil rights warriors would say. My mother is one of them, and she would say, "You can't sleep white and live black. Can't do it. It's a contract because you're not going to feel it. You're not going to see the world the way I see it." And that's that's what you're saying is so true. That we need to go and search internally to find somebody who can lead. We shouldn't go outside our spectrum. I'm not saying they're not qualified, because there's some qualified people out there that I know that so far would do up a number of jobs. We have the same type of people in our infrastructure that we need to also promote them and uplift them as well. And again, do we need them? Yes, in a certain context, yes, we do, because we need everybody to work together. I mean, as you see right now, the protesting.
Yeah.
It's a melting pot. And until it became to be a melting pot, it's when America actually started hearing us. So do we need them? Yes, we do. I'm not going to sit here and say that's not the case, but to be my leader, no, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
And for me, I know everybody. I know the proper
protocol.
Protocol for to say this Martin, but I will pick Malcolm because Malcolm was no nonsense. And right now, we need no nonsense. We need somebody gonna go out and actually tell these people, hey, this is what you're doing. This is what you need to stop doing. Period.
That's
good.
It's
You cannot teeter, not can you totter. Either you in or you out, because the door's about to shut, and once this door is shut, we're gonna lock it.
That's good.
Period.
That's good. Good. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Your brother and servant Pete Brown. How y'all doing? Family top quality as usual.
Pete, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
All right. What's the main question?
What we're asking now is can somebody outside of our community, a Caucasian, if you will, lead and head the NAACP and do it effectively?
Well, factually, that's who leads the NAACP now. So, I mean, do we need to go there? That's who established it. That's who founded it. That's who funds it. That's who runs it now. So, and how effective has the NAACP been? Listen, in my personal opinion, if you acclimate to some form of spiritual belief, you exercise that on a regular basis for your benefits, your personal benefits, and you get up in the morning in your own strength, blessed by the God, whatever force name you call it or whatever, if you subscribe to that, you ultimately get out the bed and open your eyes and put your feet on the ground with your own body strength. You are the example. You are the leader. You are the one. If there's nobody else, there should be you. Okay? I believe there's a scripture in the Bible that says if God can't find nobody to worship him, he'll have rocks praise him. Okay? So you should be the one. In my personal opinion, for us as a people, let me state it like this. We've been beat down and beat up and cast aside as a collective. As a man, as a melanated man, I want us to consider and strongly acknowledge the fact that we have allowed ourselves to be punked, period. And that's one of our main problems, okay? Fortitude, just standing up for what is right. What is your moral compass? What principles, what standards do you have? See, this is where it gets important, because we talking about this and that and this and this, all that. Look here, you do me wrong, I have a right as a flesh and blood living sentient being to raise up a standard of justice against your wrong actions toward me. I don't have to go for nobody outside of me. I don't have to come, it's not a system of revenge. When you read Frederick Bastiat, The Law, it talks about, do we have a system of law that gives us rights and that's how we have rights, or do we have rights that make us have to have a system of law that protects the rights that we have? We need to be clear. See, it's not about begging, pleading, asking, going along to get along and all this. Look here, we have to have a certain standard that we hold ourselves to and hold everyone else to. So as men, I'm saying we have to acknowledge that we've allowed ourselves to be punked. We've allowed for a process of music to come out and disrespect us and totally destroy the reputation and the stance of our women. I don't have no hoes and bees and all of this and tricksters and backflippers in my family. I have honorable females, women in my family, and young ladies being trained up to be women. So I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not no NIGERIGA, none of that. I'm a man. I don't understand the foolishness. So come to talk to me correctly, okay? But where's the standard? We don't need nobody. We need ourselves. And then we need to come together collectively in a race-first, determined mindset to accomplish all that you can as a people and set aside all of the excuses, the punkism, the sissyism, the scaredism. If you're scared, stay at home. You don't bring no cowards out on the front line of the battlefield. You bring killers, soldiers, warriors, those that are going to take bullets for their brothers, that are going to throw hand grenades. You understand me? They're going to take 2 lives. And we're not just talking about a physical fight. We're talking about a spiritual fight. Where's the fight down in you? Do you raise up a standard? Do you stand up? I'm talking about in every aspect of our life. Our so-called leaders as a whole, they chase penis and vagina in the money bag. Okay, as a whole, that's what they do. They are cockroach Negroes who lead us astray. As a whole, when you talk about the spiritual leadership, how many of the spiritual leaders are really standing on the principles of doctrine and the faith that they say they stand up for? I'm talking about it down for it to the bone. How many? You're a Christian, that Bible talk about living free from sin. If you in the Christian church and you ain't standing for the standard of living free from sin, then you playing. Period. That ain't my opinion. Read the Bible.
Hold on right there. Hold on right there, brother. Hold on right there, brother. Hold on right there, brother. You on the road. We're going to come right back to you. Don't go nowhere. On the touchdown, Donald. Donald, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I'm about to That's my vote for presidency right here.
I don't steal my people, Donald. You can't steal my people, Donald. You can't steal my people.
I mean, you know, and you know, I would choose Malcolm X myself because I'm not asking anybody to respect me. I'm not begging. I'm not pleading. I'm not trying to look out for no handouts. I'm gonna do me. I'm not looking for prestige. I'm not looking for power. I'm not looking for friends. None of that. You're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. You're not gonna treat me any kind of way.
Come on.
Period. That's the way it is.
Ain't no two ways about it.
People somewhere.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, if you don't like it, just go get somewhere. Good away from me. I mean, I don't need you to represent me. I'm gonna represent myself. Period. You know, we talk
Period.
And sometimes we want see, and that's why I say people. You only do it because what they allow. We get handouts of what we think they will allow until they don't tolerate. Who's they? I mean, I'm not asking you to tolerate anything from me. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not asking you what I'm gonna. So what I'm saying is, even in the NAACP, sometimes we get a scared leader and make him president. What are we doing? You're not going to accomplish anything. Well, let me go see if they'll let you do what? So I say Malcolm because I don't know. I was young. I was just coming up, and you know the way that they couldn't tolerate that. But he wasn't having it anyway.
Whether you tolerate it or not.
Look at what happened. Right. So what happened, and it's just me, I might be wrong. It's one of us that did it. We destroy our own self. And so when we get to the point where you read over it says there's too much power for one man, you know, that's not how it was said. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Here's another thing.
He used another word. He used a different word.
Yeah, right. My question is, do we need to teach our young boys how to be black men or just men? I don't know. That's my question. We try to be somebody. I ain't trying to be nobody. I know who I am.
Yeah, exactly.
When I look in the mirror, I see.
Absolutely.
But there's many that look like me that don't see that. First of all, you're a man. Act like one.
Come on. Good deal. Let me keep this thing going. Minister Neil, what's on your heart, brother? We got a lot going on right now. Rico, come to you next. We've all, the brother was saying so too. We definitely have to understand that you cannot die twice. Spiritually, so we have to take that into definitely consideration. But again, I'm loving this conversation, but I'm about to definitely cut this short because I got to go to the doctor. And again, I want to say, man, I really love talking with you guys when I'm off. And I had a wonderful time. And God bless you. And everybody, y'all have a good weekend. And please mask up. Yes, sir. Go vote next week. Yeah, absolutely. Go vote next week. Absolutely. Now, y'all have a good weekend, man. And Sunday school, I'll talk to you later, brother. Hey, love you, brother. Salute to you. Rico, Don, hey, my dear sister, I don't know. I never really caught her name. What's her name? Tawanda, I'm sorry. My dear sister, Tawanda, hey, God bless you. Y'all have a good weekend. Anybody else? I don't know if the dear brother still on here who was talking early, but again, y'all have a good weekend, man. God
you too.
Hey, you too, brother. All right. I bless you, man. Bless you. Rico, what's on your heart?
I think that goes back again to what I guess it would depend on what situation the NAACP was in. If it was in disarray and all over the place and it needed to be brought back together and organized structurally, I would get the most qualified person that could organize us and get us back on path to where we are aligned with how our organization is supposed to run. Now, that would also be determined on who's trying to be the leader. Because you want to have a quality person in place. You know, just because a person is black and they want that position, don't mean that they'll be the right person in place to make that organization go the route it's supposed to go. So what if you have to bring a white person in? What if a white person does want to come in and be a member or want to be an asset to make a contribution? And they could say, well, you know what? First off, y'all need to start holding meetings accordingly and call a meeting to order. First step is do this. First step is do that. Then put your agenda in place. Discuss the minutes from last week. What if you have to have a white person come in that understands Robert's rules of, meetings or whatever, when other people haven't come in and they're just coming in, sitting down, and before you know it, everybody just chiming in and you get nothing accomplished for 3 years. I mean, you got years and years and years of that organization in your local community, maybe decades, that have been stagnant. Losing members, can't gain members, membership just falling off, people not showing up to meetings. Then all of a sudden you got somebody that could come in and say, you know what, man, I know how to build a momentum. I could get the motivation going, but y'all got to look past my skin color. And they sit back and they win you over. They prove to you, they sit down and talk to you and open your eyes and start saying stuff to you that you wanted to say and you couldn't even find the right word to say it. You might have to jump on that bandwagon and look past that skin color. You get what I'm saying? And maybe, I mean, I would prefer, don't get me wrong, I would prefer to have a black person. And like I said, I would prefer Martin Luther King. Now, if I had the NFAC, I would have Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? But with NAACP having the platform that it has, I would have preferred to have somebody like a Martin Luther King, because the NAACP is mainly on a nonviolent movement, and that was his platform, that was his baby. So, for that purpose, I would choose Martin Luther King. And Malcolm X, I would choose Malcolm X depending on the different type of organizations out there. I would choose him for something else, though.
Good deal. Good deal.
Let me say this, man, because I'm loving everybody's response, and it is appropriate for what we're dealing with. This conversation. We're gonna get back to talking about business before we close out. But that question was not to generate.
But bitch, we're talking about business. All this is economics, brother.
True.
All this
True
is
economics. True it is. It's not to generate animosity or anger. It's just something to make us go, let me think about that. I don't look at color. I really don't. I know if you're my friend and you're Caucasian, I won't introduce you as my white friend. I'll introduce you as my friend. People have a tendency to close the door to something that may be better for us. And I asked that question based on what I'm looking at, what's going on in the world today. Why would we have to start a Black Lives movement, Black Lives Matter movement, when we got the NAACP, who's supposed to be advocating for us, arguing and fighting the cause? That's what the NAACP is supposed to be representing.
Supposed to be.
That's why I asked that question. Because then we got new organizations and groups popping up. We have an established organization with W.E.B. Du Bois, who's one of the founders of the NAACP. Then you got the SCLC, which was founded by Martin Luther King and Joseph Lowery. All right. I don't hear much about the SCLC, other than the fact that they're trying to fight about who's going to be the president and all that stuff right there. But we have a group that is supposed to be here to advocate on our behalf. And it's always a struggle. It's always a power struggle. I must be first. Martin said that. I must be first. It's the drum major instinct. But when you got that type of instinct that you want to be the man, in order to be the leader, you got to be willing to lead. Pete said it best. You got to be willing to stand up, speak up, cry loud, and spare not.
I heard Minister Louis Farrakhan say years ago, it had to be back in probably 89, something like that. And he said, all these men walking around here and they want to be the head. They want to be the head. But he said, in order to be the head, you got to have a head.
There you go. Talk back to me.
And he said, in order to be the head, you got to have a head. And he said, when he talking about the low head, he's got to have a head, and you got to know what it is, what it's going to take to move your family forward and to make sure to maintain your family and keep your family where it's supposed to be, going in the right direction. He said, in order to do that, you got to have a head. You can't say you the head just because you're a man.
No.
He said, in order to be the head, you got to have a head. Pete, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, Pete, hold up. I want to compliment you on that because in 1989, for you to hold that knowledge, when you on the 12 to where you are today, 12 and 19.
Now 3. Go ahead, Pete. Man, I was 3. What are you talking about, man?
Somebody go back to math class.
Hold on, man. What y'all trying to say, man? Wait a minute now.
I think I see some silver popping out on a couple of places. You got to stop playing with that just for me and out of Walgreens, or your math is off. The thing is here, when we have an objective, when there's an objective that is to be accomplished, a goal, then what dictates the formation, what dictates the execution is the goal. It's not the individual. This is the objective. This is what we want to accomplish. It will tell you, with just light research, the steps that need to be taken in order for you to accomplish it. Then you align yourselves accordingly. Those that possess the best qualities, skills, knowledge, experience to lead should lead in accordance with what the goal projection is telling us we have to do. The best one to assist us in that execution should take the place. But I go back to each one reach and teach one, but we were taught that you have to be one first. That's the same point that you just made.
Yes.
We are the leaders. The leader is you. You're the leader. The age of the single leader is pretty much going away. You're the leader. We have to move as a team. We have to move as a crowd.
Yeah.
We have to move as a collective. So we have to have individual understandings and digested mentality and be perfectly clear within ourselves, and then gather ourselves together in a collective and execute what is necessary. And these are the hindrances to what we see. This is what we're dealing with. Like I say, when you look at the so-called Black community, right? Are we Black? Are we African American? That's a whole nother question. What are we doing? I can have many rights as a homosexual male in this country now today. But if I stand up as a firm red, black, and green flying man, I'm a terrorist. I'm a gang member. I'm somebody to look out for. I'm subject to have extreme anger and result to violence real easy. And that might not be the truth, but that's what's put out. That's what's projected by the greater society. There's so many issues with us as a people. So it's time now for us to individually and collectively align ourselves right back to the foundational principles of truth.
Come on.
It's not mine or your truth. It's just what the truth is. And then build yourself back up with strong moral character, moral fiber, and standing on sound principles, and then moving forward. Anything other than that is not making sense. If we have to explain to you today about your spending, your footprint in economics, okay, in commerce, then you like them to be retarded or brain dead at this point, okay? If that has to really be explained, if you're young, you're adolescent, I understand, but that's bad. What's wrong with your parents? What was wrong with their parents? I mean, you see how messed up we are? You see how behind the ball we are? This is what I'm saying. It's a great task. Is easily accomplishable. But then those that know have to get together. And then, like we say, it's the ego. You want to be first. You want to be first. Look, man, the nail that's sticking up out the board is the one that get hit in the head with the hammer.
Yeah.
So you think you want to be the leader. But when the pressure come down on you, do you really have what it takes to stand against that pressure? And I'm not sitting here talking smack to y'all on this talk show. I'm a brother. You sit down with me and I'll give you the goods on what I do. And I'm a brother that has personally stood against great opposition that makes most folks' knees buckle, make most folks turn around and run. You'll commit suicide dealing with the things that I have confronted with and been dealing with now. Okay, am dealing with now, and I'm not bragging. I'm just saying to you, I'm one of them brothers. That's why I talk like I talk, because the way I talk is how I live. It's not a conversation for me. This is a lifestyle. They say Black Power. Black Power is not a slogan, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah. You
say Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter as a slogan matter, but I ain't standing up for gay rights. I don't believe in homosexuality. I believe you got the right to do what you want to do, but me personally, I don't support it.
Yeah.
Okay. The NAACP was started by non-Black folks. That's why I ain't never been heavily in tune with the NAACP, because I understand the spirit of a thing. In the foundation of a thing, the spirit is linked directly to it. So what was the mindset when they created the NAACP? We should all be clear. It was to subvert the UNIA, United Negro Improvement Association, started by the Honorable Marcus Lusai Garvey, who told us, accomplish what you will, all that you can, stand up, you mighty people, and gave us a flag for us to understand we represent a nation. Get your mind together, right? And here we have an organization that started the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. They were going after the more mulatto folk, trying to separate them from the darker folk considered to be Negroes. Come on now. This is history. So it was not started to advance nothing. It was started for our benefit. It was started to subvert our advancement. And it has successfully done that. It has done some good things, but pay attention. When you out to accomplish something, when you set your mind to accomplish something, first you conceive it. Once you think on it, then you act on it. That's why the Bible says, cast down imagination and everything that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. Because if you entertain that, it will come and entertain you, and you will find yourself off track and away from your God.
Good deal, man. Look here, AP. Now, we about to pass the plate, brother. We about to pass the plate. And anybody that have an offering, make sure you pass it. Make sure you pull in the plates. Coming by you right now. Pass the plate. Tawanda, what's on your heart? Donald, come to you next.
Y'all not. Yeah, I don't know if y'all be ready for my partner, Brother Pink, but he's a little spicy. He's a little spicy, but I love him. But I honestly, asked the question, and I never answered the question of who would you pick? Who would I pick between Malcolm X and Martin Luther King? Okay.
Or John or what's his name? John Brown, or John Brown, the Caucasian brother.
Now, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I don't want people to come at me. But I wouldn't pick none of them. I'll pick none of them. I'll pick none of them for the simple fact is we have to get above and beyond asking for permission. We have to get above and beyond, still 400 plus years later, going out, yelling, screaming, marching, and preaching. We have to be above that. We have to be above that. I'm not here on this planet Earth right now to ask anybody for permission. Okay. I'm above that right now. So and that's what it takes, I think, to be a leader. You know the position that you need to play, and you feel it. Nobody should have to tell you that this is what you need to do. You see the void and you fill the void. One of the things and one of the problems, and I'm going to go to a prime example when we're talking about, can we let someone that is not for us run us? Okay, the prime example of what I do every day is bring back our children's missing kids. It is ran and organized from people that don't look like us, okay? Why is it a problem? How is it a problem? Okay, it's a problem because the mainstream white media do not care anything about our Black stories. We do not, listen, our Black kids that are missing right now, because it's controlled by white media and by the Caucasian population, our Black kids do not fit the criteria for they do not fit the criteria for breaking news. They do not fit the criteria for any of these things. This is why we have so many of our kids missing in human trafficking, sex trafficking, and organ harvesting, because they don't fit the criteria. Because we've allowed them to have the power to control the narrative and control how we put out information. Okay? It's not nobody but us that can fix us, and I say that all the time. No one can come into specifically. Let's just talk about hood areas. Okay, let's just talk about who needs the vote the most. The areas that needed to be fixed, the inner cities. I don't care, y'all. Somebody would be lying if they said that they would allow anybody to come in and tell these people how to live, tell these people what they should be doing that have not had to live the experience. You can't tell me how it is like to be Black in America. You cannot tell me how it's like to be profiled for just being Black, how it feels to be followed in the store, okay? How it feels to be pulled over because they think that you are a drug dealer, or they think that you are whatever because you might have nice things. You can't tell me what it's like to be terrified when you're pulled over at gunpoint and have a gun to your head for nothing, for a routine traffic stop. These are the type of people we gotta stop allowing them to control the narrative. We gotta stop allowing them to tell our story, because they cannot tell it, because they can't physically relate to our pain or trauma. They can't relate.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? And that's good. That's real good. Talk to me, brother.
I'm just thinking about what good it is to have a strong leader with weak followers, or followers that don't have the same mindset. He's just taking a walk. Needing nobody. You know what I'm saying? How can two walk together unless they agree?
Come on.
If we keep walking, or we meet together and we fussing and fighting, what good is that? That's why we ain't accomplishing it. And I have to agree with Tawana, because wipe them all off, because we in a different setting today.
Mm-hmm.
We can't depend on the norm of expecting people to go to church. What church? What church you talking about? What identifies the church now? Because it's not four walls. You can forget that. It's more so outreach that we were supposed to be doing from the very beginning. So all of these strong leaders, you're gonna have to change your strong mindset, because there's something else that needs to be done to do the same thing you've been trying to do for 400 years. And seem like because we still trying to press people to do the same thing in the society that we are in now, because we're in a different, we're just in a maze right now.
In a mess.
Because everybody's trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But all these brilliant minds with people that are still saying, you still got to come back to church.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna never agree, because that's not gonna work. So what I mean is, if we don't all be strong, or all try to straighten out and just fly right, we're never come. I don't care how strong the leader is. If the purpose is not focused on, then we're just running around in circles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Trying to get to the promised land.
Mm-hmm. Looking for something we'll never find. Bishop.
Let me, I'm gonna tell you, I'm just carried away with the response of these callers. Man, it's beautiful.
Yes.
I'm like, Tawanda. I wouldn't pick Malcolm. I wouldn't pick Martin. I'd have a question mark behind John. The question at hand was about a Caucasian if he wanted to be the president of the NAACP. My response is if he's willing to lead, fight for us, our beliefs, and on our behalf, you don't have the necessary experience. You don't necessarily have to experience everything in life. I got into a fight many years ago, and I got stabbed in the back. My assailant fled, and I had to pull the knife out of my own back.
Yeah.
I was talking to my son about fighting and said, never turn your back on someone that you're arguing with.
Yeah.
Because this may happen. He said, when I want to experience life for myself, I said, so is that what you want to experience? Yeah. My experience did not cause my death. Your experience may cause your death. That's why I tell people a lot of times, think about what you're talking about before you call yourself jumping somewhere. Because the knowledge is half the battle. But in mind, in the business, he couldn't get a leg up. So what he did, he hired a white man. And he sent the white man out to bid for the jobs. Yeah. And he was getting all these contracts, all this big money coming in until one day, one of the investors decided to go by the shop just to visit with him. Yeah. And when he got there, he said to the black guy, he said, where's the owner of the shop? I want to speak with him. The black guy said, I'm the owner. He said, you're not the guy I met. And the white guy came walking around and he said, oh, he's just one of my administrators. You know, I sent him to my meetings. And from that, the man started cutting back some of the business that was given to him because he had a different image now of this black man. He thought it was a white man giving him all the money.
But see, what some people will say when they hear that story, Bishop, is there's an underlying deception in that story because what happened was, you know, intentional, unintentional. They put and it happens in business all the time. I'm not gonna say it don't happen all the time, but my thing is, you know, if you send this individual out there as a representation of your company, and then people perceive him as the owner of that company, and then it come out and you reaping the benefits, some would say, and what would you say to the people that say, ain't that something like how the slave master did us? They and the reason why I say that, not in that regard, but I'm saying we did all the work. Yes, we did all the work, and somebody mute your phone, man. I don't know what the world just happened, man. Y'all threw my whole thought off when that happened, man.
You forgot already.
Yeah, like where they come from? But we did all the work, and they get all the benefits. Now he's doing all the work. And in this situation, the black guy getting all the benefits because he didn't have no contracts until that white guy went out there and started getting all the contracts. And then the white guy came in and found out, hold on, man, hold on. Hey, man, let me see the owner. That would be me.
See, the thing is, the white guy never identified himself as the owner. He was a representative.
I just put it out there like, I'm just saying, I don't know how the whole thing played.
Well,
yeah. But my thing is, can you see where that could be somewhat deceptive?
Well, if the guy had identified himself as the owner,
we don't know whether he did or not.
I know. Okay. I know the guy didn't do it.
Okay.
It was the perception of the individual. When I owned my company.
Let me ask you one question. I'm gonna let you say. Is not telling the same as lying?
Is not telling the same? Then we have a talking about that.
Some similar, yeah.
Is not telling the same as lying? I don't put it in that category. I don't put me not telling you is the same as lying. If you ask me something and I don't tell you, it's my choice not to tell you. Your mind perception is yours. I can't make you, because sometimes I just rather not say. You perceive whatever you want to perceive.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. All right.
Put some scripture, Bishop. Put some scripture on it. The Bible says a wise man foreseeth danger and hideth himself.
Right.
That's using wisdom because he's understanding the wilderness that he's in. He understands the opposition that he's up against. So he puts up a face in order to get his goal accomplished. And in this society, in older times, definitely, it's still very much present today. But absolutely, in any older days than today, you would definitely have to go through hoops and loops in order to get something going on a great magnitude because of the mindsets of the people. This is why we have people that can see the same incident in front of their eyes and walk right away with two different interpretations. Well, he shouldn't have gave $20. He shouldn't have resisted. He shouldn't have been a criminal. He shouldn't have. Well, why did the man do this? But if he hadn't have done that. But what did we just see? Well, see, the reason that happened was, this is why, because people have their own, we're taught and trained and conditioned in this society to choose nonsensical sides.
So basically,
we haven't heard too much truth from these so-called candidates, all clowns in my book. But where's the truth? Where's the truth of the matter? When the senators and the congressmen can go to D.C. and they're afforded to do trading and enrich themselves, but they were elected by their constituents to represent the interests of their constituents, shouldn't that money that they allowed to make be allotted to the benefit of the people in the state? Because that's how they got there in the first place. See, there's no commitment to truth. When we abandon truth, we invite all of mayhem, wickedness, and chaos.
And I always get these scenarios in my mind, man. It's crazy. But what if somebody would have say, well, if he hadn't laid down on the ground, they wouldn't be able to put the knee on the neck. You know, because it's absence of truth. What worse kind of sense does that make? And I said that because of what Brother Pete just said, man. You know, if he hadn't laid down, then the officer want to put his knee on his neck. Hold on.
Well, I don't think he laid down on his own.
There you go. Now you with me. Now you with me. Now you with me. Let me see. Pete, come
well, hold your thought. I'm sorry, but let me bag you up with this, and I'm gonna get out the way. Listen. Well, what if response to that was?
Every bit of it.
Yeah, and I apologize, Bishop, because I wasn't trying to cut your time.
No, you good, Pete.
Let's try to get rid of it.
Hey, Donna, mute your line, Donna. Mute your line, Donna. Go ahead, Pete.
So the response to the position that you were playing devil advocate on, now the response to that is, well, the officer wouldn't have died and his family wouldn't have died when they went over there and blew his house up and killed everybody in the building if he hadn't put his knee on his neck. Now what's the conversation?
Yeah.
Now what's the conversation? Oh, this is a terrorist action. This is a vigilantism. See, again, we're conditioned to choose sides. Now, I might be somewhat acclimated to a little violence, but I'm not trying to promote violence. What I'm saying is this.
No,
when an action like that happens, if there's a swift response by that community and they bring about an immediate, terminal, fatal result, I mean, swiftly, we talking less than 24 hours. What's the response now? Yeah. What is the response if you in jail and the mob goes to the jail and breaks you out and tortures you and hangs you and burns you and castrates you and take pictures and celebrate and cook ribs and chicken and hamburgers? What's the response? See, so this is where we have to digest a full clarity of our reality up under truth. You asked the original question, who would you choose? Me, I might choose Malcolm, not because we see Malcolm as this fighter. I see Malcolm as a strategist. I see Malcolm as a deep thinker. So it's not just about violence and this and that, but Malcolm would let you know, listen, I'm not here to slap you, but if you slap me, I'm gonna slap you back.
Exactly.
See, so when you establish that as a standard, everybody's clear. There won't be none. Don't start none. What they used to say, won't be none. But now if you start it, we're gonna finish it. See, when we clear, some of this stuff won't happen. How are you gonna give a boy 25 years for his third time stealing a piece of gum? A 25-cent pack of gum. Well, this is his third felony. It's a felony. This is a major crime. He stole 25 cents worth of gum. Are you kidding me? That does not constitute, what is it, a year for every cent that was stolen? Then we entitled to more money than we can count. According to what has been stolen. Come on now. So we have to have a standard. Just my opinion, my contribution to the conversation. We have to have a standard along the lines of truth. Real truth. And then align our compass to be rightly weighed on a scale of truth with highest of morals and principles, character, and then execute from that position, in my personal opinion.
Good deal. We're going to get out of here in just a second or two, man. We only got about 3-4 more minutes before we get out of here. But Tawanda, what's on your heart?
Oh, you know, this is a conversation that needs to be had. We need to have more conversations. Sometime this weekend, guys, make sure that you check me out. Me and my sister, we are doing a show on my show, The Black Table, where we're talking about everything that's going on, from what's going on in Black news, from the recent of the brothers killing their biological children, to human trafficking, sex trafficking, all these cases that we're having. We're going to talk about all that. But we need to continue to have these conversations.
Absolutely.
The only way that people learn is to have these, to continue to have these conversations, open dialogue about. But we don't all have to agree. I think that's one of the things that's so frustrating, specifically on social media, is because a lot of times people don't agree, specifically on politics. But what we can agree on is we should be able to agree on Black economics. We should be able to agree on that we are not where we need to be. We should be able to agree on having unity and coming together for the betterment of our people. We have a long road ahead of us, specifically with this COVID. We have to make sure that Black business development is taken care of. We have to make sure that we are self-sufficient. It's out there. Grants is out there. Things is out there for us. We don't know how to get it. And once we learn how to get it, and once we use everything that we have, I can't understand why no one has hit me up about this class. That you got a billionaire teacher. You know what I mean? Nobody has hit me up. Why? Because people don't want to learn. So can you blame the system? No, the system was designed how it's supposed to be. It's not for us. Until we change it, until we learn how to do all these things, we're going to be right where we are, stagnant. And this show is good for Black economics, because people may think we didn't talk about this, but we talked about what we need to talk about, because we need to wake up and realize that we need to be self-sufficient. You don't need any of these other people to co-sign and endorse yourself. Do it yourself.
Absolutely. Bishop.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, this has been a great show.
Yes, sir.
To God be the glory, as you oftentimes say. And I just appreciate being a part of it today, being sitting in this studio with you live.
You coming back Monday?
I can't say that. But
oh Lord, see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying, y'all? I'll put you on the spot in a minute.
Now let me tell y'all something. God knows. I get up and try to get on the show every day. But I had to get up at 6 o'clock this morning.
You did good.
I did good.
Yeah. I mean, even gonna take you get some breakfast in a minute.
Man, please. No, you whatever. We're gonna get me started. Pete, I need you to pray for us. I got my water. I'm not gonna throw the bottle at him, but I'm gonna show pray to God. And
Lord, my Jesus. Listen, I'm looking at the clock, man. Let me see who we got here. Bishop, I'm gonna come to you, Bishop.
Let Brother Pete. Is Brother Pete still here? Let him pray us out.
Yeah, he gonna pray us out, but Bishop gonna tell us what's going on at 3 o'clock though.
At 3 o'clock, if you have missed this program, at 3 o'clock, tune in to www.dkmmediagroup.com.
You got it right.
And hear it and listen to it in its entirety.
Come on now. He said the word right, man. Well, somebody said that you gotta hear it, and then you hear it, you got to listen. And if you listen, then you heard. And if you heard,
oh, Mary, don't you weep.
God almighty. Hey, Brother Pete, pray us out, brother.
Father God, in Jesus Christ's name, we come before you this morning, to God. We thank you for the activity of our mind and limbs, a reasonable portion of health and strength. We thank you, Father, that we can come before you, casting our cares upon you. We thank you for your words of comfort, your words of truth. We thank you, God, for having sent your Son, that we might know thee and the free pardon of our sin. Lord, we ask that you would add a blessing, dear God, great faith and consideration, mercy, dear Father, where is needed, dear Father, with the souls that you have created. You see the trouble in the land, dear God. Lord, we know what the scripture says, dear Father, and we're looking unto you, dear God, to add a blessing, to keep us, dear God, to reclaim the backside, to save the unsaved, dear God, heal, dear God, the sick, and affirm, dear Father, sanctify the saved, dear God. Those that don't know thee, trouble them, dear Father, that they might consider their one and eternal soul. We ask, dear God, that you would bless all those in the listening audience, dear Father, all those that are presented. You know the situations, circumstances that they're confronted with as well. And we're asking, God, that you would add mercy, grace, strength, dear God, what is needed, dear Father, so that they can make it through. And Lord, we'll give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise for all that is said and done. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Wow.
Go ahead, preacher. Go ahead, preacher. We gonna.
Wow.
We ready.
Bishop, just throw some water in the air, Bishop. Just throw some water in the air.
I'm gonna have to do something, but he over here, he acting up. He be acting up.
It is now 10:01. It is 10:01. It's time for us to get out of here for today. But I'm gonna play a little bit of this. I don't know. I've heard it before, I think, but I'm not 100%. But I'm gonna play a little bit of this MLK, Martin Luther King last speech. It's on 2 minutes. So y'all give me 2 more minutes, and then after that we're gonna get on out of here. Check it out. See, I don't want to hear all that. I want to hear the speech. They got all this drama build up and all this stuff. What is speech at?
I want to thank God once more for allowing me to be here with you. I left Atlanta this morning and then I got into Memphis. And some began to say the threats, or talk about the threats that were out. What would happen to me from some of our sick white brother? Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Bishop, I'm gonna ask you a question and we're gonna get on out of here. Was that his goodbye speech?
That was his goodbye speech.
Because he knew something.
Yep. That was his goodbye speech. I listened to many of his speeches.
Mm-hmm.
And that one right there, every time I listen to it, it's so touching.
Yeah.
Because he died the next morning.
Yeah, that was his goodbye speech right there. And so he said, and I sit there and I looked at it, and it's almost like I saw tears in his eyes, man. I saw tears in it. He wasn't crying, but you can see tears. Sometimes you can see tears behind a person's eyes, and I saw that when I looked at it, man. So that to me was his goodbye speech. He was saying goodbye, and he's telling you, I may not get there with you.
Yeah.
I may not get there with you.
We as a people.
But we as a people, we will get there. And my question is this: when? When
we as a people unite and demonstrate the thing that God told us to.
But see, we've been singing that's a song we've been singing for a lot of years, brother. We've been singing that song for a lot of years. This right here was in 1968.
Mm-hmm.
May 3rd, 1968.
Mm-hmm.
This is 2020.
Yeah.
So I asked the question again, when?
I remember that day.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents were crying.
Mm-hmm.
My mother and I said, well, what's wrong? What's going on? I was outside, came in. She said, a great man was just killed.
Mm-hmm.
A great man was just killed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And so I'm looking at the footage, and I remember it to this day.
Yeah.
A great man was just killed.
Exactly. Brother Pete, it's time for us to get out of here, brother. But I'm gonna come to you one more time if you're still there. I only know if you're still there. Let me check. Yeah, brother Pete, when, brother? When?
Well, The Bible lets us know the Father only knows the time, but I'll tell you what, the situations and circumstances dictate responses.
Mm-hmm.
So we have seen a progression throughout recorded history in these United States
mm-hmm.
with our people. And it's looking like we're being forced to come to what we need to get to do what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say soon, my brother, soon and very soon.
Soon and very soon. Okay, good deal. Listen, we're about to get out of here. Tawana, you have anything on your heart before we get out of here?
The time is now. The time is now. It's not, one of the things, if you try to look at a benefit to it all, if nothing doesn't teach us anything, this whole pandemic should teach us that the time is right now, and it's highly critical that we start today. And you don't need a lot of people. You just need the people that are consistent to move change, and everything can be done. It can be done. It just takes time and consistent effort for people to get it done. But the time is now. It's not no better day than the change today, and it starts within yourself. Do one thing different. Do one thing that doesn't benefit you today, and that's where you start seeing change.
Okay, good deal. Well, listen, we're about to get out of here, man. It's 10:07. You're about to exit the Morning Glow, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. That we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Do me a favor, if you don't mind. Go out there, find somebody. Give them some love. You just might find some love in return. Y'all have a great weekend. Take care of each other. Love ya.
Another good one, boy. Another good one.